All right, I think we're up and at 'em. Welcome into the Lineup Fantasy Football Show. Mello, it is draft night. How pumped are you?
I can't put it into words. I mean, I'm a sicko with the mocks. I love mocking, not just NFL draft, like anything. I'll mock draft anything,
Yeah,
but nothing's like the real thing. Once you get here, you get to the climax of draft season. It is glorious.
I don't think there's anything more disappointing for me right now than having to put the draft on mute and not being able to hear the boos for Roger Goodell. But I
Oh,
think I'll
yeah,
live.
that's a good point. That's like a annual tradition that we have to miss out on this year. But I'm
I
booing
know.
internally, so I at least feel like I'm part of it.
Yeah, I feel part of the fun. We can jump into things a little bit here. I'm gonna do an insanely bold prediction here. Hot take of the century. I'm starting to think Vegas goes with Mendoza first, but then I think
That
it's a
is
little wide open from there.
that's spicy right there.
That's what I'm known for.
Mendoza one. You know what? I feel comfortable enough saying this. If Mendoza doesn't go one, I will eat my own foot on this stream. We're
We're
actually
double
gonna do
ordering
great
those
numbers.
crows.
Yeah, we're gonna get some crows. We're gonna both eat literal crow, and then I'm gonna eat my left foot. So I'm not flexible enough to eat it off my actual leg, but I'll find a way to make it work if Mendoza's not the first overall.
I am literally going to hold you to that. I'm also going to be down 20 grand, like I said on the mock draft episode. Easiest $100 in sports right now is 20 grand on Mendoza to Vegas.
Yeah, if you have 20 grand to spare, why not?
Who of us doesn't? As we're waiting here while they just do the whole spiel that wastes your whole first 15 minutes of the draft, let's talk a little bit about the mock we posted yesterday. Obviously, Mendoza's one. I think like from there, Jeremiyah Love is kind of the first domino. But like, what picks are you feeling like pretty confident in, and which ones are you like, who knows?
I think this draft more than most is so wide open after Mendoza. I don't know that there's a single pick I feel super confident in. Even number two, the Jets, like I have them taking Arvel Reese still. That's what I had in my first mock. Would not surprise me in the slightest if they end up taking David Bailey, though. I think this is such a wide open draft, which makes it fun because a lot of people are talking about how it's not a great draft, not a deep draft. But part of that, the plus side of that is that it's such a wide open draft and you don't know who's going to draft who, which makes
The chaos aspect of it is the best.
Yes, it's going to be chaos. I'm hoping we see some trades because you know I love trades.
I think we are going to see more trades early than we even had in our mock, which I felt like we went for chaos, and I think we might get even more chaos than we tried.
Yeah, I'm hoping, especially in the top 10, my fear is teams won't want to move up because it is such a weak draft that the teams wanting to move back won't be able to. But I think we'll get a handful of trades tonight.
Do you think there's a lot of Dynasty Fantasy Football managers who are playing GM in the NFL right now, and they're trying to get your 2027 firsts?
Oh, 100%. I'm going to be guilty of it. As soon as like any of these receivers are drafted, I'm going to be firing off trades for certain picks or just like something in Dynasty just to get the blood flowing,
something that make you feel
the hormones going. Yeah, exactly. I need it. Especially if there's trades in real life, that makes me want to trade because I don't want to miss. It's like FOMO if I can't.
You're SpongeBob looking out the window at Squidward. No, Squidward looking at SpongeBob and Patrick.
Literally.
Before we keep going, quick shout outs in the chat right now. We got Josh Noons, we got Ryan Carney, we got my man, the Gridiron Genius from Instagram, Unreal Page. Also our guy, Fanatic Dak from TikTok. Make sure to show him some love too. I'm fired up. We got Terry Bradshaw on the stage right now. I feel like he might have just like wandered onto there, but
he didn't even know the draft was in Pittsburgh this year. He was just there.
No, literally, he was just there, and he was walking down the street, and he just wandered his way onto the stage. What's up? We got Kenyon in the chat, too. How's it going? Man, I'm pumped. I'm, like, actually so fired up. The worst part of the draft is, like, I don't know the last time it wasn't a lock who the one was, and so you're kind of just waiting for those 15 minutes.
Yeah, and every broadcast does the same thing where they try to build up this anticipation, get a few more advertisements in there so they can cash out on the night when it's like, yeah, we've known this pick for months. But then
I'm starting to wonder if this is all about money.
I don't know. I thought they did it because I thought Roger Goodell just loved the game.
Love of the game.
I would be the NFL commissioner for quite literally 1% of his salary. I would quit my job. Sorry, Mitch, I'd leave you in the dust. I'd be out of this podcast.
I wouldn't blame you. Could probably retire on 1% of his salary. Let me get into this. I want to hear your pick that you're most excited about, that you hope happens the most for fantasy football, and then I'm going to give you mine.
Ooh, I love that. In my first mock, talked about Jeremiyah Love and where he could end up. He's going to go top 5 at this point. I don't really think there's any question he doesn't. So given that is his range of outcomes, I'm really hoping he lands with the Giants, who sure aren't a great team, but they're an ascending one that could be really fun, and it could be some fantasy ecstasy there. So I'm hoping Arizona passes. I'm hoping the Titans pass, and he gets there to the Giants at 5.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of extra buzz, I think, the past few days, and I actually just saw prediction markets putting him to Arizona at 38%, which is pretty shocking to me.
Right.
But I'm standing firm. I try not to get too caught up in those like 48 hours before buzz. I think we are such big Jordyn Tyson guys, and I think that buzz is getting crazy. So I'm fully with you. I think Jeremiyah Love to New York. I'm going to talk about someone a little bit different here. Let's get off of the New York Giants, and I instead want to talk about the Carolina Panthers. And you turned me on to this pick actually a couple weeks back on one of our episodes when you talked about the thought of them drafting Kenyon Sadiq. Posted a clip about this. This one's actually been getting some pretty good traction. I know Panthers fans are super, super excited about this possibility. I think he would fit in so well with Bryce Young. Honestly, very similar to Jeremiyah Love, where I think people aren't excited about Love in New York and that prospect, but I think that would be like fantasy gold. Think about how important those like red zone high value touches are.
Yeah, I'd be super excited to see that. I actually think that is so realistic. Can I give you a little bit of a hot take here to kick off the night?
I would love a hot take right now.
I heard some pushback to the Sadiq to Carolina pick from Panthers fans, I think from just NFL fans in general, that they're not sure he'll be there. Right. I think there's a better chance the Panthers pass on him if he is there than he gets drafted before the Panthers are on the clock.
I love that take. I kind of completely agree with you, man. Like, I feel like everyone's, because he's the top tight end, and that's why. And I think we've seen a lot of top tight ends going really early, and we always talk about guys that just mess with our brains because they're outliers, and like Brock Bowers a few years ago, and every single Iowa tight end for the past decade, it feels like. It's not that type of draft this year, though, where all these offensive skill position guys are going so early, and so I think I'm with you on that hot take.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, though, because, I mean, you never really know. Like, just think a couple years ago, it felt like the Bo Nix and the Michael Penix, obviously different position, but the next tier of quarterbacks everyone thought would fall into day 2, and then they went so much higher. And then last year is the opposite example with Shedeur Sanders. People thought he could go top 10, fell all the way to the 5th. Yeah, and that's why you actually play out the draft. That's why the teams make the picks, and you just never know.
I'm going to ask a question to you, but I also want to ask the chat. First off, shout out Casey for joining the chat. What's up? I'm going to ask you, and then everyone in the chat answer this as well. Who is the player in the first round that everyone feels is going to get drafted here that you think is going to slip? I ask you this as Mello Kiper Jr., our draft expert here at the lineup.
I wish I had a Mel Kiper impersonation in my bag. I'd be whipping that out right now. Unfortunately, I don't. I also appreciate you calling me an expert. I don't even know what the back of my hand looks like, which is like the go-to, something like the back of your hand. Yeah. I have no idea what the back of my hand looks like. So expert's a stretch, but I will definitely take it. A player that I think could slip into the second that people are talking about, that's a tough one. I think you want a real deep dark horse here.
I would love that.
I'm going to go with Jeremiah McCoy, the cornerback at Tennessee. The injury issues, he didn't even play last year. I could see that scaring off teams. In my original mock, I had him going 12. Part of me still feels like he could be even like a top 10 pick, maybe not top 10, but close to it. But part of me feels like he's the type of guy where he's so talented, but the teams just don't want to invest that high of capital on because of the injury concerns. And he could be someone who slips for me.
I love that. I will be now staking your entire reputation on what happens with Jeremiah McCoy tonight.
He's going to end up going 12th overall, like we originally said, and I'll be eating those words.
We got Kenya in the chat. Well, actually, shout out Mr. David 1992S, who said you guys suck. Thank you, David. I love my fans. But Kenya said, I was hoping they'd find a way to trade up to get Makai Lemon to pair alongside Tate, the Panthers. That would be very interesting, but as a couple of cokeheads, that would kill me. Speaking of which, Fernando Mendoza is getting drafted, which means it's time for the silver bullet to come out. No,
I was really hoping you'd actually be coming out with a Miller Lite there.
No. Isn't it silver bullet a Coors Light?
Oh, Coors Light, yeah, sorry.
Okay,
I don't know ball. I don't know beer ball, apparently.
Definitely no beer ball. All
right. We've popped that draft cherry, Mitch. Now we're getting into the weeds here.
We did the thing that everyone on TV does, where you just talk for 20 minutes while you're waiting for Roger Goodell could not be moving slower to come out on stage right now.
You know what? I'm glad though. I'm not happy we missed the booze. I'm glad I don't have to hear Roger Goodell make every single pick.
That's a good point. That's what I did not even think of, is like, at least we don't have to hear him. And so with the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, I think we all saw it coming. It'll be Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback out of Indiana. I, for one, am shocked. Pretty crazy that he didn't want to come to the draft.
Yeah, I guess we've seen it with some of the top prospects in recent years. I respect it, though. I mean, I honestly, not that I've ever been 1% of the caliber of athlete of these guys, but if I was, I wouldn't go to the draft. I'd want to be at home with my family, so I totally get it.
I was just about to say, I think Joe Burrow did the same thing, and I remember that was the COVID year.
Literally everyone was
kind
home.
Of against
Roger Goodell was home.
Yeah. Oh my God, remember that? Him in the basement.
That was almost comforting, though. Middle of the pandemic, being able to still watch the draft, everyone else being home.
This is like such a deep cut that so many people are not going to get, but like that felt like Jeff Probst on Survivor, like in these later seasons, where it just kind of felt like he's making the whole thing about himself. That was like the Roger Goodell draft in the basement.
His like couch or his chair or whatever it was became like a meme for like
literally
3 weeks, and then people realized that we had like better and funnier things to talk about.
All right, let's lock into the thing that people actually came for. Let's talk about the fantasy stuff here. I'll give my short take, then I'll let you give yours with Fernando Mendoza. From a redraft perspective, I don't have a whole ton of interest. Superflex, maybe, if you want to grab him. He's got decent enough weapons. We both think they're going to go out and spend some draft capital on another receiver for him. But the problem is that Kirk Cousins is here, $172 million guaranteed. They're going to be starting Kirk for part of the year, so do you want to go draft Mendoza if he's not starting for X amount of weeks? That being said, Dynasty right now, I think in Superflex, a lot of people's 102. And as I just mentioned, he's got Brock Bowers, he's got Ashton Genty. Hopefully they make another move for him at wide receiver so he's not throwing a Trey Tucker and Jalen Naylor, but I'm excited to hear what you think.
Yeah, I think we're completely aligned here. Redraft, I just have no interest whatsoever. I mean, maybe if you're in like a Superflex or 2QB redraft league and you want to take a flyer on him, I guess. But even then, I'm really not that interested because he probably won't be starting for quite some time. But Dynasty, there's absolutely potential there. I think his floor compared to a lot of top prospect quarterbacks is still pretty high, even if the ceiling isn't as high as some of the other guys we've seen in years past. So I think he's got a good career in front of him, despite being drafted by the Raiders. I think he'll persevere that, and he could be a good asset for years to come.
Yeah, from like an actual NFL talent perspective, I know some people have like kind of gotten on him as a prospect because of the arm talent, but like we compared him to Matt Ryan, both of us, in our rookie comps episode. And, I think his archetype and his build is the type of guy that can produce in fantasy. I think just both of us aren't so excited in the immediate future about it.
Yeah, I think that's a totally fair way to put it. And honestly, long-term, it might be for the best because like you mentioned, he's throwing to like Trey Tucker and Jalen Naylor and Jack Betch right now. Hopefully they can build out that receiver room, grow as an organization a little bit before they throw him out to the wolves. So could be a good thing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. We got a question in the chat from Brian Rockwood, 3374. Next question, what week do we think Mendoza starts? That's an interesting
I'm gonna arbitrarily just say like week 7, and that is pretty arbitrary. We don't even know their schedule yet. Like we don't know what it'll be looking like, what the record will be. But I feel like they're bad enough that they're going to be getting the heat to bench Kirk at some point.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, you gave him so much money. I actually think I'm going to go exactly in line with you. I think we don't know their bye yet, right?
We don't have the
It
schedule
feels
yet,
like it's
so.
a coming off the bye. I'm going to say week 7 too. But you don't pay Kirk that much money to simply just be a backup. They want to give Mendoza the chance to learn behind him for at least a little bit. I don't think they're going to throw him into the Wolves that quickly, especially an organization like this. I know they're poorly run, and so they might, but like for that exact reason that they've had guys flame out and they want to do the best they can to put him in a position to succeed.
100%. Looks like the pick is in here, by the way, Mitch.
All right.
For the Jets. This is where it starts. Are you with me? Are you Arvel Reese, or you think we're going to see?
I'm Arvel Reese with you. I would not be surprised if it's David Bailey, but imagine if they just went Jeremiyah Love.
After tagging Breece Hall. Honestly, Breece Hall managers would rejoice because that means he's getting traded.
That's a good point. Any chance the Jets draft Ty Simpson? Kenya's asking. I don't think so, but could you imagine? I was saying Jeremiyah Love was the domino. That would set this whole thing on fire.
It would make national headlines outside of the sports atmosphere if Ty Simpson got taken here. It'd be fun though. I would love if they did.
Shout out the Jets also for making their pick like not that deep into the clock.
Oh, I bet they actually made it 10 seconds in, but you know what they did? They milked out the clock.
They had that Bud Light ad one more time. And then you had Charles Davis haunts me from playing Madden. Like I just hear his voice and I just get like this rage.
Just used to throwing like your third interception in the game, and it's Charles Davis talking shit.
Oh man, he's having a tough one today. And they will select David Bailey at number 2.
Okay.
Mello Piper Jr.'s mock already in the garbage.
I'm gonna resign from my position on this podcast. Anything NFL related. They took, I think, the best true edge rusher in the class. I'm curious, whether it was the front office or Aaron Glenn who ultimately had final say on this pick. Arvel Reese, probably the more versatile guy. A lot of people would say the better football player, but David Bailey has the more proven track record as a true pass rusher. So I think they just opted to go with the guy that they know can get to the quarterback.
And I think that's a great move for this organization. I think they are starting from square one a little bit here. And they're going to get the number 1 pick. They've got the tank commander at the helm right now in Geno Smith. And so they're building for the future. And why not start with the defense?
Yeah, and I think outside of quarterback, there's a very real argument to be made that edge is the most valuable position that there is. So, you can get potentially the best player at one of the most important positions. You can't really fault them there.
Absolutely. Because we didn't get a fantasy eligible player here, I'm going to ask one question, then we'll jump into another. And if anybody has any questions in the chat, let us know. But my question for you is fantasy relevant guys on the Jets right now. We've just got Breece Hall and we've just got Garrett Wilson, and that's it, right?
Yeah, I'm not interested in any other. Maybe in Dynasty, like Mason Taylor, if you want to take a flyer on and redraft as like your second tight end in deeper leagues, sure. But for the most part now, it's just Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall for me.
Absolutely. And so now I'm going to ask another question for you. Who is going to be the first wide receiver off the board? Because I know there's been a lot of talk, and both of us have been Carnell Tate guys, and I feel like that was the popular opinion in the space, and now all the Jordyn Tyson hype coming out of nowhere. Where are you at? Are you still that Tate's the first guy off the board?
Yeah, I'm probably going to eat these words just like I ate my words when I said it would be Arvel Reese at 2, but I do think Carnell Tate is still the first receiver off the board. I wouldn't be stunned if he is not, but I would be a little bit surprised. Like David Bailey here, I wasn't really surprised, even though it wasn't what I had. I would be surprised if Carnell Tate is not the first receiver off the board. There was a point in time some people thought it could even be Makai Lemon. It sounds like that noise has sort of quieted and the Tyson noise has gotten louder, but I still think it'll be Carnell Tate.
I'm with you. I've seen a few people saying that they could imagine Tate going top 5. I don't see it. I think the earliest I can imagine him is probably at 7 to Washington.
Yeah, I've seen some people saying the Giants to pair him.
Okay.
And to a certain extent, I get that, but it's also, that's really high draft capital for a guy that's going to be your wide receiver 2 for the foreseeable future because you already have a superstar in Malik Neighbors there.
Absolutely. Kenya's saying Cardinals should trade back. They need so much help. I don't entirely disagree with that.
I 100% too. And to be honest, I think the Cardinals organization probably agrees with you. I think they probably are pretty aggressively trying to move this pick. I think the question is, will they be able to? Because to be honest, I'm not sure too many teams are looking to trade up.
Yeah. It's very much like Dynasty Fantasy Football. All right, let's get David Bailey off the screen and let's start talking about pick number 3. How do you feel? Do you feel like this is going to be Jeremiyah Love, or do you think this shifts a little bit now that Arvel Reese is available?
There's been so much chatter that this could be Jeremiyah Love if they keep the pick. Part of me wonders if that's just the Cardinals like leaking reports left and right that it could be anyone just to try to bait someone into moving up. Like, oh no, we can't let them have Love. I mean, like, gun to my head, I would say Arvel Reese again, even though I was wrong with the Jets.
We go through the whole. That's the guy who falls out of the first round.
Yeah, he's gonna go like 17th overall.
Yeah.
But it would not surprise me if it's Jeremiyah Love here, though. It would not surprise me if it's one of the top 2 offensive tackles. I think both of those guys are certainly in play here. Sonny Styles would surprise me a little bit, but not terribly so. So I think it could be any one of those guys. Love, Styles, one of the 2 top offensive tackles, and then of course Arvel Reese.
That was crazy of you to go after Noons in the chat right now, who just says this pick has to be Sonny Styles.
All right, he's in on Sonny Styles. Hey, Sonny Styles is a fun player. There's part of me that if he goes to the Cardinals, though, will just be calling him Isaiah Simmons because they're very similar styles of player. And Isaiah Simmons was a huge bust, but I don't think Sonny Styles will be. I think he will be a very, very good player in the league if used correctly. He's a very unique style of player, and I hope wherever he goes, the coaches don't try to put him in a box and make him play in a prototypical way.
Madden legend Isaiah Simmons also.
Yeah, he was so good at Madden, bro. He's in the Dorial Green Beckham camp of Madden players.
Him and who's the Dree Archer? You ever play with him at running back?
Yeah.
We have the pick is in. Before the Cardinals make their pick, shameless plug, if you guys are not yet subscribed to the show, please hit that sub button. We appreciate it so much. And hit that like if you're watching and enjoying right now. And then also, if you listen on audio, we are on Spotify, Apple, as well as every social media platform. But here we go, Cardinals pick. This is the one I've kind of been waiting for. To be honest, like from a fantasy football perspective, whether it was David Bailey or Arvel Reese did not matter to me. Here's where we get interesting because this could be Jeremiyah Love and this could be everybody's 101 in Dynasty.
I hope it's not for Jeremiyah Love's sake. I would not love that, but it's so in play. It's so in play here. It also would just be so funny to see Tyler Algier get cut by 2 generational running back prospects in like a 4-year span.
My favorite thing is how much we were talking at the beginning of the offseason in Best Ball about like, oh, Trey Benson's a steal. And I had like one night on stream that I was just like ripping Trey Benson shares.
He is so dead. It's not even funny.
He's already dead. If Jeremiyah Love goes there, like honestly, it's like you said with the Jets, like maybe they just trade him like Brees. But here we go.
Oh boy.
The number 3 pick. And Jeremiyah Love is an Arizona Cardinal. Wow.
Man. Oh my God.
I was actually so shocked that I just forgot to put the graphic up.
He's going to be phenomenal. I mean, he is so good it doesn't matter. He like you could have put him on like a CFL team against an NFL team and he'd still probably amount 95 scrimmage yards in a game, but oh boy, of the possibilities, this one feels like the yuckiest to me.
Yucky's a good word. Murky's a good word. Brian Rockwood saying no. Josh Noon saying no. Man, this just to me feels like we keep doing this with these like generational running back talents where we just put them into systems and teams that aren't ready. And that's what concerns me. And I love the way you put it in our mock draft episode that like, you'd rather see a high drafted running back be put on a team that's ready to try to win now. And I think the Giants are that team.
Yeah. For the Cardinals, I hate to say it, but it just feels like they're going to waste his rookie contract. He could be like Saquon on the Giants where it was like, yeah, he was great, but they weren't really ever super competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, obviously Tyler Algier is the biggest loser of this pick from a fantasy perspective. Trey Benson is even more dead than he already was.
Trey Benson managers, break out your real silver bullets tonight, as in the drinks, literally.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that bad.
It's not that much of an issue.
Yeah.
James Conner's going to get cut by the Cardinals twice in one offseason. He's not even going to make the team at this point. They already cut him once.
Literally. Oh, Casey, I'm sorry. Casey's saying Trey Benson, my heart. My heart goes out to every Trey Benson manager. That is brutal.
It's over. I'm so sorry, Trey Benson truthers. It is. I was, for a brief period of time this offseason, a Trey Benson truther.
It's literally, though, we're so back. It's so over. Snip, snap.
Here's a fun question for you, and I shouldn't get you riled up like this because I know this is a passionate topic for you. Do we think there are any implications on Marvin Harrison Jr. with Jeremiyah Love in Arizona?
This is actually this is a good conversation. I do like this. I think this helps Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay.
For the same reason that I kind of talked about Sadiq and coming in and how that would help T-Mac, just with like the Cardinals weren't the greatest at scoring last year, and Jeremiyah Love is going to help them move the ball down the field, and like Marvin Harrison, more high value touches, I think is great because he's not exactly a volume monster. And so he's not one of those guys that you're getting the majority of your points from like between the 20s. So it's mainly lateral, but I think it could be a good thing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I was going to say maybe not because they'll be more run heavy, which in early on in games might be true, but they're going to be so bad that they're going to have to throw anyways. But honestly, say what you want about the Cardinals, and we've certainly been critical of how bad this team is on paper. Their weapons are insane right now. Their offensive skill players are toward the top of the league. That's about all they have toward the top of the league, but at least they have that.
And they got Jacoby Brissett throwing him.
Yeah.
Shout out our guy Sports Mafia from TikTok in the chat right now. Thanks for coming out, my man. Kenya said, poor Trey Benson. I'm an FSU alumni, and he was literally everything to my team. I think he'll be a great RB2. I'm hoping he still gets the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they move him for like a late pick.
Yeah.
And then maybe he can be a role player somewhere. But with Jeremiyah Love and both Tyler Algier there, and I guess technically James Conner right now too, it's just hard to imagine he'll be involved in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. All right, let's jump number 4 here. I said that as if we have the pick already, but this is where. Oh, and the pick is in. I do think theoretically there could be a receiver, but I really do not think that's where they go here.
I don't either. I think this is my Sonny Styles pick. I think this.
Yeah, I agree.
Although, you know what? With David Bailey on the board, maybe not. I mean, I'm sorry. With Arvel Reese on the board, maybe not. I think with Arvel Reese on the board, I very well could see it being him. But I do think Sonny Styles is a player that works for the Titans, given you have Robert Saleh, who obviously coached Fred Warner 2 stints in San Francisco. I think Sonny Styles could play a Fred Warner type of role. So I think that's a team that would use him correctly. But I don't know if they'll offer Arvel Reese, who's probably the more respected prospect by most.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Robert Saleh is one of the most like quiet signings of the summer.
Yeah. It's Tennessee. Everyone's like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Back to Broadway. Back to drinking.
No, literally. I don't know though. I think it will be defense though. I don't think they go offense here.
Thanks for jumping in, Casey. Have a good night, my man.
Thanks.
I agree. I think this is defense. I've seen a lot of people saying they should go get Cam Ward a weapon. Clearly they haven't seen Wan'Dale Robinson, maybe because he's too short, but I don't think they need to go do that. I would much rather, as like an NFL fan I'm not actually hoping for them to succeed, but if I was, I would want them to go defense here.
Yeah. And I think they should. Like, I think that's where the real weakness of this team is. I mean, their offensive line isn't phenomenal, but compared to a lot of teams that are picking this high, their offensive line is okay. And with Jeremiyah Love gone, I feel like you just have to go defense.
Yeah, I agree. And here we go with the 4th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Tennessee Titans select Carnell Tate. Oh my!
I'm an idiot, Mitch.
This is the first one that I actually feel blown away. I was having a chat with a few people today in the DMs on TikTok and Instagram, and one guy was actually showing me his mock, and he kept saying Carnell Tate. And I was like, yeah, man, I don't fully know about that. Oh, man, I'm going to come out and say it. as a Wandale truther, this is bad.
This is bad for
This
Wandale.
is very, very bad.
I don't know this offense can support 2 fantasy relevant pass catchers.
As a
maybe though,
Cam Ward truther though, this is very, very good.
That's what this pick says to me as somebody who did not see it coming, is the Titans said, we drafted Cam Ward first overall last year. We are not going to let this flop. We are going to make sure we give him every opportunity to be our guy. So then if it doesn't work out, we know we gave him our best. And that's what they're doing, taking Carnell Tate here.
I love that strategy. And it makes me so happy for like these guys who are actually getting a chance, because I hate seeing a quarterback's talent wasted because they just didn't even try to set them up. Chat is shocked. Kenya can't believe it's Carnell Tate. Gridiron Genius with the wow. Sports Mafia not mad at it. Carnell Tate is awesome. Like, I think Tennessee is going to fall in love with him so quickly. He is this one to me solidifies it as like, he's going to be pretty easily my number 1 receiver off the board in Dynasty mock drafts.
Yeah, I agree. This high of draft, like, as much as we talk about how much we like these prospects or dislike them, I think the 2 most important things to look at when evaluating from a Dynasty perspective are landing spot and draft capital. So draft capital, 4th overall, really high hit rate.
They got plans
and then
for him.
They have plans for him. Tennessee's not the best team, but at least they do have who they hope is their franchise quarterback in place. He's going to clearly be their number 1 receiver day one. From a fantasy perspective, this actually does excite me quite a bit.
I'm very, very excited. Here's my question. Does this Superflex, does he sneak in here now to the 102 conversation? Because I think a lot of people have already been kind of like, I don't know if I want to go Mendoza there. Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance guy.
It's a good question. I think it's fair. Especially like if you don't want to wait on Mendoza, which, I mean, if you're picking this high, if you're picking second in your Dynasty League, maybe you are a team that can wait a little bit.
Yeah.
I think whether it's PPR or not makes a difference as well. If it's full point PPR, that makes Tate that much more enticing versus a quarterback. So I wouldn't blame someone, and I'll leave it at that. I would think it is a totally fine move at this point to take Carnell Tate over Fernando Mendoza in a Dynasty League.
I'm with you. I think it comes down to team needs.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my shot here. I kind of think this next pick's Jordyn Tyson.
Really? Oh,
or
my goodness.
Maybe they wait till 10, but I felt like I wasn't thinking it was going to be. And now I kind of feel like we're going to get into that situation, sometimes where it's like a receiver goes off the board too early. And so teams start getting worried, like, oh, are we going to get a run? And so they kind of like manifest their own run, self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing.
It's like 2 years ago when it's like one quarterback went.
Yes.
And then it was like obviously you had the top 3 that everyone knew, but then all of a sudden it was like Penix, McCarthy, Nix, just like that. And nobody thought they would go that high. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me all that much at this point, but I would have been stunned if going into this draft, if you told me Jordyn Tyson was drafted before both Arvel, Reese, and Sonny Styles. I would not have.
Yeah, Arvel Reese's dropping is like crazy right now to me.
And it's interesting from the Giants' perspective, because what do you do? Pass rush is one of the, at least on the edge, obviously in the interior, they're struggling now that they lost Dexter Lawrence, but the edge is one of the few strengths of this New York Giants team.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Like, do you take best available in a guy like Arvel Reese and just add, make a strength a bigger strength, or do you address a bigger need, which, you're picking top 5 for a reason. You do have other needs.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know in the chat, guys, who you're a fan of and who you're hoping your team picks right now. Kenya said, I'm more worried about the Browns now. I had them picking Carnell Tate. We had them picking Denzel Boston later on in the draft, trading in to try to get that receiver help. And then we also had them taking a tackle, I believe, right?
Yeah, we had them taking Francis Mauigoa out of Miami at 6. I could see them going with either of the top tackles, Spencer Fano out of Utah as well. And yeah, the Denzel Boston to the Browns at 24, I feel like is becoming an increasingly popular take. We had that in our first mock too.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like that is very much in the cards tonight, potentially.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, dude, this has been like dopamine.
What'd you say?
Dopamine is it's just like dopamine in my blood right now from just 4 picks of this draft.
It's the best. It's literally the best.
You ever see the Bill Burr?
You start mapping out the whole year. It kind of feels like you've been working with a puzzle that's been missing like a quarter of the pieces for fantasy football, and now they're just dropping you in little pieces, and you're starting to put it all together.
Yeah. Oh, and it's incredible to do it in real time. Like I don't know if you've seen the Bill Burr stand up where he's like, what loser watches the draft? You can just look at the list the next day. It's like, that's not fun. I want to instantly know and instantly think about how this will affect real life teams, how this will affect my fantasy team, my draft strategy. This is the type of stuff I live for.
You know what pisses me off? And this is like such a thing. Like Bill Burr probably does this and annoys me. I hate when you're at a draft party and someone's got like the Schefter or the Woj bombs up, and they're like, they just took Carnell Tate. It's like, I could have just sat at home on my phone if I wanted to get the news that way.
Yeah. Do you go to the movie theater, read the reviews online, and then shout out what happens right before the ending?
Oh, guys, Iron Man dies, by the way. Who did that? It was it like Sean McCoy?
Oh, I have no recollection.
It was some NFL player did it, and it was like during one of their last seasons, and it was like, damn, what a way to go out. Everyone just fucking hates you because you spoiled Avengers. Sorry to anybody who hasn't seen it. It came out 8 years ago.
Yeah, there's like a statute of limitations. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry, but
Kenya's with me. Giants shoot for the stars and pick Jordyn Tyson so that he doesn't fall to the Chiefs. Because I actually agree. I have seen Chiefs talk with that they have been pretty attached to him. Sports Mafia is a Lions fan. Who do you want them to take, Sports Mafia?
I got the Lions taking an offensive tackle tonight, but I'm curious. I want to hear from a Lions fan. I want to know what the fans want.
That's what I want to hear. I'm like, because, we are plugged in across the league and we try our best to know everything that's going on, but like no one's going to have a pulse on these teams quite like the people who are watching them every Sunday religiously.
Right. And it's not only like the thought process that goes into their thoughts about their personal teams, but the emotions. And that is like an important thing too, to know how that fan base is feeling and how that determines, who they want to draft or what approach they want their team to take.
Absolutely. Here we go. New York Giants selection.
Oh boy.
Oh, I kind of want another shocker. I don't think we're going to get a shocker.
Jordyn Tyson, bro.
The Jordyn Tyson would be the shocker, even though
that would be the shocker.
I've been saying that I think it's going to happen. Shout out to everyone in the chat right now. Also, we appreciate you guys hanging with two idiots on the mic right now, just talking through some draft stuff.
Absolutely. Love you all. Get to listen to me be wrong about every pick. Really appreciate it.
The draft's great. I feel like we started going and I was like, oh man, we're moving. And then all of a sudden I looked up, I was like, oh, we're only on pick 5 right now.
Yeah. Here we go.
Who? Okay, so let's just give it a second because they're talking about something. But on the depth chart right now for the Giants, there's pretty much no one after Neighbors, right?
Oh, it's barren. It's barren. It is not good at receiver for the Giants.
So if they whoever goes there is going to get an opportunity. I think they do take a receiver at least in the first 2 rounds. And here we go. With the 5th pick,
Arvel Reese.
All right.
All right. He
was your guy.
Yeah, he fell pretty far. I'm super curious to see how they use him because at Ohio State, he wasn't used purely as an edge pass rusher.
Mm-hmm.
He was used off ball quite a bit, but the assumption would be by a lot of people in the NFL, he is going to probably be a true edge rusher. That's where there's more value. That's a skill set he has, and that's what he could offer to a team that's probably more valuable than anything else he can do. However, now that he's with the Giants, they probably have the flexibility to use him in some different ways because of the pass rushers they already have in place on the edge. So I'm excited to see how they use this guy.
Me too. I'm really excited. The Giants, this is just, their defense is so exciting. This whole team is exciting to me, honestly. It feels weird to say that about the Giants after the past few years, but I think we're going into a very, very exciting year with them. And is there they're kind of going on?
Oh, do we have a trade? I just felt my heart drop just by the word trade.
I'm tingling thinking about.
I'm like a
right
classically conditioned dog. Like if I hear the word walk or like food, I just perk up.
Yeah, it's like one of those TikToks where they just say all the dog's favorite words. What's up, Troy? Welcome into the chat, my man. Thank you for joining the stream. We're up to 15 right now. Thank you to everyone who's in the stream. Kenya's saying that she thinks the Chiefs get Tyson or Bane. I actually think that's two great picks on either side of the ball. That's whoever the Chiefs are going to take. This is the best advice for anybody talking to their friends about the draft is you got to say, I can't believe the Chiefs got away with another one.
Yep. Oh, 100%. Any good team. We're going to do it with the Rams at 13, no matter who they take. Eagles. Oh, yeah.
Howie did it again.
How does Howie always do this, bro? Yeah, no. I'm just going to do Rams, that with whoever these guys pick.
I've been seeing a lot of people mocking the Rams taking receiver. It's
picking up momentum.
Embarrassment of riches if Sean McVay just grabs another receiver.
Les Snead and Sean McVay are just like, we only have 1 or 2 more years of Stafford. Like we're just we're going all in.
Fuck them picks. I saw Cooper Kupp wish Robert Woods like happy retirement, and it felt like T.Y. Hilton Part 2, the Squeakquel, where I was like, I thought Robert Woods was retired for like 12 years.
It's felt like that. Who was the other guy who announced their retirement when they hadn't played in like 3 years this offseason?
It was T.Y., right? Or somebody else?
Oh, it was T.Y.
Yeah,
I thought it was someone else too. I'm probably just thinking of T.Y. again, but
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, my brother, we know. It's been
Bro,
over.
you have been retired.
Robert Woods was so
Chiefs
fun,
are going to get Downs. I could see that.
That is one that I thought quite a bit about. They did lose one of their 2 starting safeties this offseason to Cincinnati. They could use help in that secondary. That would be a pick that'd be like, of course, the Chiefs somehow get Caleb Downs, one of the best, like pound for pound, like true football player, like best football players of this draft.
Yeah. It would be very, very classic Chiefs.
I don't know though.
Or do we get to say how much help does Patrick Mahomes need?
Yeah, that's what we're going to be saying if it's Jordyn Tyson. We'll see how it falls too, because I mean, there's so many guys. I mean, just these first 5 picks alone, there's been some big surprises. So I'm curious.
I also want to see the details of this trade, but I don't want to like jump on ourselves in like 5 minutes when we're going to have this conversation, but we have been like so back and forth, vinegar and oil on Rashee Rice this season. They draft Jordyn Tyson. Where do you go with that? And here we go. Sorry. Before you do,
I'm all in.
6th overall pick, trade for the 9th overall pick, a 3rd rounder, and a 5th rounder.
That's great value for the Chiefs. No?
Unbelievable value. This feels like in Madden when you're just throwing picks together and you can't believe it worked.
A 3rd, and I mean, the Browns must have desperately wanted to move back. They must want somebody that they know will be there at 9, and they would take anything they could get, because in most years to move up, even just 3 spots in the top 10, you're looking at it potentially a future 1st, multiple 2nds, like day 2 picks. That seems like incredible value for Kansas City.
I mean, I know it was to move up to the 2nd overall pick, but just look at Cleveland last year.
Yeah.
How much they got from Jacksonville.
5-2. Yeah. They got multiple 1st rounders, additional picks beyond that. I don't know. They could go offensive tackle here. They could go receiver. They could go Caleb Downs. They could go Sonny Styles. Let's see. I don't know.
I am thinking they're going to take Jordyn Tyson if they moved up to get him. That's my personal feeling.
At 6 is crazy. Let's see.
With the 6th pick, the Chiefs select. Is that Mansour Delane?
Wow. Mansour Delane. They take the top corner in the draft.
Wow.
I didn't think they would need to move
McDuffie,
up to get
right?
him. They just traded Trent McDuffie to the Rams. Yeah. So, it's a position of need. Absolutely. 100%. I think getting the best corner in the draft is very big for them. They absolutely needed a corner. I am surprised, though, that they felt the need to move up 3. And
that's where I'm shocked.
They have more intel than we do. So, they likely did have to move up if they felt they needed to. But I'm surprised that's the guy they felt they needed to move up to make sure they got.
Man. I was just hoping. I was just hoping for my Rashee Rice argument that they were going to take Jordyn Tyson.
Rashee Rice stays alive, baby. I hate that I'm the Rashee Rice guy of this podcast because I don't want to root for Rashee Rice, but I think he's good.
We got to – I never even put the player up. We need to talk also a little bit because there's nothing to talk about here with fantasy right now for the Chiefs. But Cam Skattebo dodging bullets left and right, and as of right now is the lead back for the New York Giants.
I think I need to retire my fade Cam Skattebo take. I think he has officially dodged all of the bullets, and I'm still not a Skattebo truther, but I will retire my anti-fade Cam Skattebo take, at least for the time being, I think.
Yeah, I think we got to retire it for a little bit. I felt like the logic was sound. I can't believe that they're riding with him, but long term, I still don't buy it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think, to be frank, like the top level talent is there with him. And then obviously the injury last year makes things more scary. But at least he's still the top back. So, I mean, he'll live to see another day.
He's very, very interesting for redraft this year, especially like I feel like I'm about to have just spent a whole spring saying fade him, and then we'll see what his price looks like as part of an offense that I'm really excited about.
That is a really interesting guy to monitor because we did see him sink a little bit in ADP and in people's rankings at the start of free agency and then going into the draft. I think he's going to rebound. The question is how far up people's boards will he go?
Yeah.
Wow, man. So we're delaying at 6th overall. The Chiefs moving up.
It's the trading up to get there that I think is the most shocking thing to me that I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Same, especially with given the fact they move up, you have a guy like Sonny Styles who's fallen. Not that linebacker is a huge need for the Chiefs, but you have, tackle I would absolutely say is a need for the Chiefs, and you have both of the top tackles in this draft, Francis Mauigoa and Spencer Feno, still available. You have Caleb Downs, who is, dare I say, a generational safety prospect. The injury concerns are there, which I guess is the one thing sort of holding him back. But
yeah,
the best safety prospect we've had in probably the last decade plus. And you go with the cornerback instead, who I will say I think he'll be very good. I think he is instantly NFL ready, instantly will be a very, very good cornerback for Kansas City.
I completely agree. Let's talk some Commanders. We had Carnell Tate going here. He goes much earlier at the 4th pick. Do we think they go receiver here and get Jayden Daniels some more help?
I think it's Sonny Styles here. I think it has to be. There have been reports that he's Dan Quinn's guy if he falls there, and here we are. He's fallen there. I would be a little surprised if this is not Sonny Styles.
Well, here we go. I think we got Goodell coming out in a second here.
We're cooking now, Mitch. Now we're cooking. Kenya agrees. She's saying they're getting Sonny Styles.
Oh man, you just know when Roger walks out with a crew that you're like, this is gonna take 15 minutes before we get to hear this pick.
Is that Jerome Bettis? Yeah, it's Jerome Bettis. He didn't play for Washington, right? He played for the Rams and the Steelers. Yeah, I don't know. Oh boy,
I never understood.
I wanted Carnell Tate in Washington.
I feel like I had Carnell Tate going to Washington like so locked in my brain that
he was already commander in my head.
Yeah, he was already a commander. I was already working on my jersey swaps. Troy's saying Sonny or Downs, maybe Tyson.
I could see any of those. Yeah. Truly. I think I have. I think it's going to be Sonny, but I could see any of them.
Me too. I think Washington's one of those teams that I'm really excited at the prospect of them taking an offensive skill position player here just because of fantasy football and how excited I am. And I know you are too about Jayden Daniels. So I think that's why I'm rooting for Tyson, but I think realistically Sonny Styles is probably the pick here.
I think so as well.
Valley Sports Pod, what's up? Oh man, Valley Sports Pod was all over it. Made a whole video about how the Giants should not pick Jeremiyah Love. And the pick is in. Sonny Styles is headed to Washington. Good pick on that, Mello. You've been reinstated.
I got my mojo back. I lost my mojo there for a while.
Got your swagger back. Mello Kiper Jr.
By the way, what graphic do we have up right now? Is that Kenyon Sadiq?
No, we got Sonny Styles up. Am I crazy?
Oh, I don't know if my stream is broken. I'm seeing Kenyon Sadiq on the Panthers, but the pick is.
I think your stream's broken. Let me know. Let us know in the chat. I'm like,
let us know in the chat
unless
if
my
I'm
OBS
broken
is messing up. What's up, Valley Sports Pod? Oh man.
Yeah, this is their Bobby Wagner replacement long term. Very different type of linebacker
Yeah.
than Bobby Wagner, but a very good linebacker who could have a career of the regard of Bobby Wagner if things fall right. So I think this is a great get for Dan Quinn's defense.
I'm so excited about Washington this year. I think I'm just big on these teams that people are like kind of just like casting aside because of like a weird year. I'm really excited for him.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my God. My adrenaline is too high right now, man.
I know. Valley Sports Pod, we're both Patriots fans, so we're really looking forward to when the Patriots draft in the second round because they traded back later tonight.
Yep, they're gonna trade back. It's been we're not ones to complain because of the luxuries we've had as Patriots fans, but the last couple of weeks, woof. It's been
Why? What happened?
Tough. Yeah, nothing. No, nothing. Nothing of note. Nothing of note's happened in the Patriots universe the last couple of weeks. Yeah. But nothing will happen tonight either, because I do think I'm very, very confident they will be trading back into the second tonight.
Yeah. Much like Diana Rossini's accounts of everything, nothing happens.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the 8th pick. We're going to get this is another one that who did we have in our mock here going to 8? Was this Ruben Bain?
We had Ruben Bain, who I think is still very in play here.
Yeah.
The tackles are falling.
Very interesting.
Later.
Yeah. Not a single lineman off the board yet.
Yeah, I think I don't know if people are just not in love with the options in this class. It isn't a particularly strong tackle class, but it's not a particularly strong draft class in general. There are still a couple good ones. I thought at least one would be gone by now. So interesting to see them fall. I think the Saints, I'm still going to stick with my Ruben Bain pick here, though.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with you. I think they go defense.
Get a good pass rusher. True, like, defensive lineman. Like, more of a, I know at this point we just kind of refer to them as edges, but
yeah,
he's truly more of a defensive end than an outside linebacker, hand in the dirt. He can play inside a little bit, rush from the interior as well. And I think that's kind of what the Saints need. So it makes a ton of sense.
I'm with you. I know there was some buzz coming out that they're waiting until at least tomorrow if they're going to go to receiver. And so for Chris Olave managers, you're probably safe. I don't know if that has changed at all in the past 24 hours, but for me, I feel like I would have a hard time imagining they're going to draft a receiver.
Yeah, I could see Tyson. If Carnell Tate was still on the board, I'd say that's definitely in the play. But with Carnell Tate gone, and then Jordyn Tyson being the polarizing prospect that he is because he has so much talent, but the injury concerns, it's hard to gauge how many teams and which teams are willing to take that shot on him. I think the Saints are probably more likely to address defense here.
Could you imagine if like injury concerns were like a thing in normal jobs? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to hire Mello. He's going to come into the office and sprain his ankle walking through the front door.
No, literally. Like, that's the thing with getting older. You hurt yourself in the most unexpected ways.
It's like the equivalent of like, oh man, I was checking his logs at his company last time and he had like 40 sick days. Like, I don't know if we can trust the guy to stay out on the field this year.
Yeah, off the field, he sneezed while he was mowing the lawn, pulled his hammies, had to take short-term leave.
We got Troy saying Ruben Bain or maybe some wide receiver help. And then Valley Sports Pod, surprised that the Jets went with Bailey and did not expect Reese to fall to 5. I think we fully agree with that sentiment. That was
Reese
shocking.
At 5 was pretty shocking to me. That Giants team is so fascinating to me. The pass rushers that they have now, it's kind of like the 07 Giants. I mean, obviously that team was a little bit more complete than the current state of the Giants, but like the strength of that 07 Giants team was they had 3 or 4 guys that could get to the quarterback in the blink of an eye. And it seems like that's what the Giants are building now as well.
Jackson Dart also reminds me so much of Eli Manning. They're basically the same guy.
I don't know if there's ever been two quarterbacks in NFL history more different. Jackson Dart and Eli Manning, both in terms of personality and play style. I want to see them two have an extended conversation.
Or a gap relationship.
Something. Jackson Dart definitely uses words that Eli Manning has never heard in his life.
He probably uses words I've never heard of in my life.
Yeah, true. I feel like a boomer sometimes.
Oh, 100%. Being 28 years old and being Unk is just like a very odd combination.
Honestly, it's endearing. I would love to be called Unk. I don't take it offensively.
All right, we're closing in here on New Orleans pick. New Orleans is another team I think that for fantasy football we see some value in, but the offense as a whole isn't one that we're buying a ton of pieces on. I specifically am very high on Olave. We both think Tyler Shuck is kind of a target, great value brand kind of younger quarterback. But then I think from there, I don't know if you disagree. There's not much I'm interested in.
No, I'm probably not as big on Travis Achan, as we pronounce it now, as a lot of people. I think Kamara will still be involved, but I mean he's past fantasy relevance for me. So it's not an offense I'm excited about from a fantasy perspective, very much similar to you. But it's an offense, or a team rather, that I think could win the division, just given the division that they're in.
Yeah, there's talented enough pieces on that team that they could do it, and it's a weak enough division that they could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see. I mean, Shuck, who knows? Like, his range of outcomes this upcoming year are he gets benched in week 4, and also he has a nice little breakout where he's maybe not an elite quarterback, but he proves to be like a very good, solid starting caliber quarterback for years to come.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you mentioned this a couple shows back, but like I think a lot of people have already just kind of like said whatever, bridge quarterback, and I think he's got juice.
Yeah, he was very good down the stretch last year, started to show off the mobility. So he's a good player, or at least he's shown signs that he can be.
Yeah.
All right, we got the pick in here. Here we go, Goodell. Give me some dopamine here, Goodell.
He's just doing "is this thing on" joke. God, he's so annoying.
Is Kate Hudson is in the building? I don't know. What are we talking about?
And Jordyn Tyson is headed to the New Orleans Saints. Wow. All right, here we go. We got some fantasy football conversations to have right here.
Big time.
There's some guys on the screen. Let's break this whole thing down. Very interesting pick. Completely agree. Troy and Kenya are like, Kenya called it. This is really exciting for Jordyn Tyson and for people who have, probably the 103 or 104, I should say, in their dynasty drafts. Chris Olave is taking a hit right here.
Chris Olave is taking a hit. To be honest, I think Jordyn Tyson's taking a hit too.
I don't think this is his best landing spot.
I don't love him being Tyler Shuck's number 2 weapon potentially on a team that we're not fully convinced on. And I love Jordyn Tyson as a talent, by the way. I think if he were truly 100% healthy and there were no concerns with the injury risk, I would have him even over Carnell Tate as the best wide receiver in this draft class.
Yeah.
I'm sad with this landing spot, though. I am not I mean, they needed receiver help after Olave because it was just nothing
and once
after
they
him.
moved Shaheed.
Like once Shaheed was gone, it was like just nobody behind him. So I get why the Saints did it. I think it's a nice get for them. I think it's a good pick for them. But from fantasy perspective, I'm going to have cold feet about drafting Jordyn Tyson, I think.
Yeah, it's not as clean as it could have been. I think it's funny because we were talking about him going to Philly, and it's a little similar with it. He would have been the 2 to Devonta Smith. But the one thing, and we talked about this a couple minutes ago, or probably like 20 or so minutes ago now, is that like the draft capital's there. They clearly wanted Jordyn Tyson if they were willing to spend a top 10 pick on him. And so they've got plans for him. My worries with Chris Olave, I've been so excited about him as a dynasty asset, and so much of the reason Chris Olave was so productive last year is because of all of the targets, and
Yeah.
spending this draft capital on a receiver is not good for Chris Olave. Great for Tyler Shuck.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck is the big winner here
He's
from
the
a
winner,
fantasy
yeah.
perspective. No question. This is good for Tyler Shuck. I don't know that there are any other winners, though. I think everyone else involved is probably a little bit of a loser with this selection. And you're right. Olave, such a big part of his fantasy relevance last year he was the only guy, and he was hyper targeted. We might not see that going forward with Jordyn Tyson.
Yeah.
Top 10 draft capital, super talented guy. If he can stay on the field, he is also going to command targets.
Yeah. Next question coming up here is going to be, where's Makai Lemon going? We had the first 2 go off the board, and now who do we have up next? Cleveland?
Yep. This is the pick Cleveland traded back from. I mean, they do need receiver, but I don't think it's him.
I was like, don't do it to me. Don't put Makai Lemon in Cleveland.
I think it's I'm just like completely talking out my ass clearly, because we know nobody, even Mel Kiper, who, I mean, he's a very talented person. He does what he does for a reason, and he gets paid a lot of money for a reason. But even Mel Kiper or any other draft analyst has no idea what is going to happen prior to the draft. With that said, though, I think the pick here is Francis Mauigoa, because I think the Browns' 2 biggest needs are probably offensive line, particularly tackle, and then receiver. Difference being, I think they can still get a solid receiver at 24. I don't think they can get a solid tackle at 24, or at least I'm not as convinced they can. So I think they take a tackle here, but who knows? Who really knows?
It supports your idea, too, that like they traded back to 9, didn't take that much because they were so confident they were going to be able to get him.
Yeah, true. He's still sitting there, which, we weren't sure he would be, but if they were confident he would be, they were right, because he's sitting there waiting to be taken right now.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Cleveland's pick is in.
They will not be moving back again.
Imagine they just traded back in the first round like all night long. Sorry, Parker Washington just posted on Instagram. I had to see what was up. All right. I wasn't even kidding either. I opened up Instagram and there he was. Last time a tackle went this late in the first round was 2019.
Wow. It has been quite a few years here.
Yeah, that's pretty shocking.
You would think, too, especially in the draft without a lot of quarterbacks, this wouldn't be the case. But
yeah.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Browns first selection.
There it is. That's a tackle, but it's not Mauigoa.
Oh, man. Spencer Feno, I'm behind you, I think.
My stream is, I don't know. I was behind
jumping back and forth.
Wow. They go Spencer Feno. He might be the Will Campbell of this draft. Take of that what you will.
I was like, is that like derogatory?
It could be either. Where I'm going with it is super productive in college, very good offensive tackle, not the biggest frame, not the longest arms, not like the prototypical offensive tackle. So we'll see what he does. But I mean, the Browns need an offensive tackle, and they're getting one that was very successful in college. So this is probably good for Judkins. This is probably good for whoever the hell will be starting at quarterback, as well as the other receivers. Not that I'm still excited to take any of them in fantasy, but it's certainly not a bad thing for all of the fantasy relevant, or I guess fantasy eligible players, I should say, on the Browns.
I mean, I can't see a world where the Cleveland Browns made a bad pick. That just isn't possible.
No, never. They've never swung and missed in the first round.
Gridiron genius, the laughing emoji. Yeah, we've yet to have the like what the hell just happened pick that I'm waiting for, where we're not even gonna have a graphic ready for them. Kenyon can't believe that Ruben Bain is falling. And here we go.
Wait a minute, the Giants. Goodell's already going up for the Giants. We're cooking
Giants
right now.
Let's go.
Oh
Just
my
make it
God,
happen. Make it happen quick.
This is incredible.
Let me get this off the screen.
That was so quick. And it looks like we are back to back offensive tackles.
There it is. There's your pick. You were just one late,
I didn't
Mello.
think he'd make it to 10. All right. Giants go offense and defense. They've taken a lot of offensive tackles in the first round over the last 6 or 7 years. Which probably isn't a good sign.
The Cam Scattaboo fading. Oof. We're getting punched in the mouth right now.
Oh, yeah.
Scattaboo up.
Yeah, no. This is there's a big win for Scattaboo. This is a big win for Malik Neighbors. This is a big win for Jackson Dart. Get some offensive line help and not bring in any other weapons to sort of cannibalize or vulture their opportunities. So Giants, they could be a really fun fantasy team this upcoming season.
Yeah, I didn't even want to just get into the Cleveland Browns drafting a tackle and how it was fantasy relevant because I just don't think it is. Because besides Judkins, there's no one I even want. Maybe Fannin, whatever. But for the Giants, I couldn't agree more. I'm getting like super, super excited about this team, and I feel like the best ball is here officially, and I feel like I'm going to be making a whole lot of Jackson Dart stacks.
Oh, yeah. As you know, I've been more like hesitant than you with Jackson Dart, but I will admit, I'm getting a little excited because I see that upside and I see that potential that a lot of people have been talking about and theorizing about. It's there. I'm not going to deny it's there. The Giants could be so fun this year.
They could be so fun. It's just, it feels so weird and it feels so wrong to be like, the Giants are the team I'm so fired up about, but I've gotten there.
And it's so tough too to say because it's like you had a team like the Patriots last year that some people were starting to talk about in that way. And then sure enough, it came to fruition. It worked. But you also had a team like the Raiders last year that people were talking up in a similar kind of way. And then they were picking first overall this year. So it's just so hard to know like what's real, like what's just buzz and hype and what's actually something that will come to fruition.
100%. We do have a trade. The Dallas Cowboys have moved into the 11th pick.
Oh, boy. So they moved up, what, one spot?
One spot, I think.
So there must have been teams trying to leapfrog them, and they said, absolutely not.
Wow. I'm interested. We had Makai Lemon going to Miami in our mock, which I'm still, oh, man, I would love it. But we're big Malik Washington guys here, and so if he dodges that bullet of a first-round pick wide receiver, like Malik Washington shares are going to be looking really good after tonight.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be one. I mean, and granted, his ADP will probably go up a little bit, but I'm going to be super in on Malik Washington late in drafts, best ball redraft, if he ends up actually being potentially the number one receiver going into the season.
Oh, yeah.
I will eat that up.
While we wait for the Cowboys to put their pick in, also, anybody who hasn't yet, please hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it so much, and drop a like on the stream. We thank you all so much for being here and hanging out with us. Sorry, though, Mello, you continue.
No, I'm glad you're shouting out everyone here because I appreciate it, too, you listening to two just complete dumbasses talking to microphones and and talk about the NFL draft. So really appreciate all of you so much. Hope you're getting the same amount of dopamine that we're getting from these trades and these picks. The Cowboys war room is animated right now. They are very excited.
Also, for anybody who wanted the details, they moved up one spot and gave up 2 fifth-round picks. Absolute Madden trade. Crazy Madden trade. You just add until you can move up that one spot.
Yeah, it's just... Can I whisper a little interesting sweet nothing in your ear?
Sweet nothing? I would love a sweet nothing.
Sweet nothing. I don't think this is going to be what happens. But let me just, because this is what we do, because we're crazy people. What if they're moving up and they grab Makai Lemon here and George Pickens just signed his franchise tag? Yep, he gets traded.
We mind melded there. And here's the other thing. Mike Vrabel was sleeping with Diana Rossini to create a smokescreen. He never wanted A.J. Brown. He wanted George Pickens, and the Patriots trade for him.
6 years in the making. Yeah. Mike Vrabel knew what he was doing 6 years ago.
It's called the long con, guys.
That's why he's the best coach in the NFL.
Yeah. It's chess, not checkers.
Maybe Vrabel AI generated all these pictures that were leaking.
Yeah, I heard ChatGPT 2 is really good. I was so insulted when somebody suggested on Reddit that our thumbnails were AI. I was ready to go to war.
Oh no, this is
they're handcrafted.
I'm not nearly talented enough to handcraft thumbnails, but Mitch is, so he's holding down the fort with those. I think as much as I would love Makai Lemon for the drama and the Jerry Jones,
I don't think so.
Narratives. No, I think it's Caleb Downs.
I agree. I think Troy's got the right idea. I think it's probably Caleb Downs.
You get like one of the best players in the draft position aside, even though it's not a premium position. And the Cowboys need defense so desperately. Like, this would be such a nice get for them.
Really? I thought they were pretty good last year. They honestly down the stretch were like a little bit better, but like all in all.
Yeah, they made some acquisitions at the trade deadline, which some people questioned, but it did make their defense, a little bit better in the short term. So
yeah,
they're going in the right direction, I guess.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs would be a huge get for them, though. He is so sick. he can just do so much. He's kind of like, honestly, Sonny Styles, where it's like a safety linebacker hybrid style. It's more of a linebacker, Downs more of a safety, but I mean, just a super versatile player that you can move all around the field.
Yeah. I would have a very hard time imagining them not go defense here. I agree. We keep talking about them. We're a fantasy football show about being this high-powered offense that like the bad defense is actually a benefit for us. But for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, the bad defense is a minus. It's something that needs to get fixed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want that because I love how fun this Cowboys offense is in fantasy, but there is real life football happening. There are real life implications. So that's actually a fun question. Who's going to be the team with just a complete dog shit defense this year? That's going to be fantasy excellence because of it.
I mean, the cheap answer is the Bengals.
Right. But they got Sexy Dexy. So
that's true.
They're making moves too.
That's true. That's a great question. I don't know.
We got to think about that. We got to sit on that, maybe do an episode on it. We'll report back on that one.
If anybody in the chat has episode ideas that are fun, I mean, we may as well just talk about them right now. Next week, we got best values in fantasy football right now, and then we also did a fun episode on the discount brand versions of all of our favorite NFL superstars. That was a blast. But if people have episodes they want to see, let us know in the chat. And we love new ideas and just chances to have like fun with this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It can be anything too. I love stupid topics, just dumb.
The best.
Dumb stuff. The best stuff to talk about.
The best is a stupid topic that I can take way too seriously.
Yes, that's couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, here we go.
All right, here it is.
The 11th pick in the NFL draft. The Cowboys select Caleb Downs.
There it is. That's a great get for the Cowboys. I hate to say it, and it's kind of minuscule, so like part of me feels like it's not even worth harping on, but like I do think this is a minor hit to CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, just if the defense gets better. Not anything all that significant, though.
Yeah, I agree. Any addition to the defense that's going to cause them to not have to play catch up so much is just always going to be a bad thing. I mean, it's a plus for Javonte Williams, if you want to look at it on the flip side. True.
Yeah, they'll have to run it late in game. They'll have the positive game script, so it could be good for Javonte. This feels so Cowboys to me, just getting a guy who's one of the best prospects in the whole draft falling out of the top 10 to them. Not that the Cowboys have done much winning.
Again.
Yeah. Jerry Jones did it again. It's so funny that the Cowboys have actually drafted very well the last couple decades, and they still haven't made an NFC title game since the 90s. I know. But they've done a good job drafting, and this is a guy, unless the injuries really catch up with him, I have a hard time imagining he's not a very, very good NFL player for a very long time.
I'm with you. I'm excited. It's never exciting to I'm not a Cowboys guy, so I'm never all that excited to watch the Cowboys, but at the same time, they're always on prime time. And so you're going to get to see a whole lot of Caleb Downs.
Oh yeah. It's going to be like every 3 weeks, they'll alternate between Thursday, Sunday, and Monday Night Football. So
yeah,
we'll be seeing Caleb Downs play some ball this year. And I'm excited to. I think he's going to be a very fun player.
I do too. What's up? We got Answer the Call in the chat. Our guys, thank you for joining the stream, my man. We're moving on. Let's get Caleb Downs off the screen, and let's talk about pick 12 in the draft here, a.k.a. the Miami Dolphins, who still have Makai Lemon sitting on the board if they want him. Can I ask you an interesting question? If he goes
Please
here,
do.
Are you drafting Makai Lemon on Miami above Jordyn Tyson in New Orleans in Dynasty?
I don't want to say yes because I love Jordyn Tyson so much as a player, but yes, I am.
Yeah, I think I am too. And it's also the idea that like Miami is going, this is specifically Dynasty, Miami is going to be so bad. They are going to be so bad. Or Malik Willis is going to be great. So one of two options. Either Malik Willis, this whole thing just doesn't work out and they're drafting at like the first pick and now Makai Lemon's in his second year and he got a ton of volume year one and now he's got a new quarterback. Or the Malik Willis thing worked and it's fantasy gold. I think this is like such a good situation for him. Yeah.
Yeah, either way, it's phenomenal. He's going to play a slot role. He's going to be a high volume guy. Like he doesn't need to be on a good productive team for him to be good and productive in fantasy.
It's a great way of
a
putting
large
it.
number of reasons. Yeah, I think even if he is taken by the Dolphins, I'm going to be so excited about him in fantasy. He's just going to get so many targets, like Jalen Waddle did his rookie year with the Dolphins when they signed.
Yeah.
So it could be a really like. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if he had 105 receptions his rookie year on the Dolphins.
100%. Something that actually excited me so much, we were talking about this in the values episode, was just like some of the free agents that are still out there, the receivers, and that like as we're kind of seeing these puzzle pieces come into the picture, we're going to see teams finally make a move on guys like Tyreek Hill and Juwan Jennings.
Yeah,
and like
Deebo Samuel. Yep.
Miami could be a great spot for Tyreek Hill. I got put together that Photoshop right now.
Could you imagine him in a Dolphins jersey?
Oh my God, no. Or the Chiefs.
No, yeah,
how much help does Patrick Mahomes need?
That one actually might happen.
That one genuinely might happen, yeah.
I think there's a good chance it does happen, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
Tyreek back to the Chiefs. Crazy to think what did they win? 2 Super Bowls since Tyreek left?
Is it 2 or is it 1? San Francisco and...
He wasn't on that team when they beat the Eagles. When they played
he wasn't. You're right.
It's 2. All right, Dolphins pick is in. Here we go.
Ryan's Tennis Channel, OC, I agree. Patrick Mahomes needs a lot of help. And they will take Caden Proctor.
They go offensive tackle.
This makes sense now, trading back, feeling comfortable that they were going to get their guy. Grab 2 fifth-round picks in the process.
Honestly, philosophically too, we talk about Makai Lemon, but like philosophically, it makes sense. If you're a rebuilding team, start in the trenches, like build up the offensive and defensive lines, win in the trenches, then get your skill players, your quarterback, everything else. So I do respect this pick a lot. He is kind of a polarizing prospect. I mean, most people consider him a day one pick. There are questions if he can play tackle at the NFL level. Clearly the Dolphins think so. And if he can, obviously that's a really, really big need for them.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think it would have, as excited as I would have been from fantasy football about having Makai Lemon here, like this is the right way to rebuild a team. And this is the 100% the best move for them.
I think this might be the start of an offensive tackle run. And I think a lot of them might go earlier than a lot of people, myself including, initially thought, because you see Caden Proctor going at 12. There's probably only 2 or 3 tackles that teams have as first round talents. And there's a lot of teams that would love an offensive tackle. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some trade ups. I wouldn't be surprised to see these guys start flying off the board the next 5 or 6 picks.
Yeah. A little bit of scarcity here, supply and demand.
Definitely.
Oh, next up, we got the Rams coming in here at pick 13. Here we go. Sean McVay grabbing another receiver because, of course,
this might be Makai Lemon.
It's like upsetting me to think about.
Well, let's just play this out for a second. Who else?
Okay.
Ruben Bain's still on the board.
Yep.
That's an interesting one. If it's not him, I think it's Makai Lemon. I really do think it's going to be Makai Lemon here.
I kind of agree with you. If you're
They could go offensive tackle.
If you're Baltimore and he's sitting there.
Baltimore is interesting. He's really interesting. It's kind of, they need receiver.
Are you going to say him and Zay Flowers are a little bit duplicative, if you will?
Duplicative. Good word. Good answer there, Mitch. Yeah, they're a little duplicative. I don't know if that would stop them, though, because, the Ravens just can't get it right at wide receiver. They built that roster so well the last, decade or so, but receiver is the one position they just have not been able to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know if Makai Lemon is like the guy that fixes that for them. I was just making the joke about being duplicative, but like that, I actually don't think that that's the thing. I mean, I had mentioned early on in the offseason that like I didn't hate Kenyon Sadiq as the Isaiah Likely replacement, and like Mark Andrews is 250 years old, so
it's in the cards. It honestly wouldn't surprise. It wouldn't surprise me. It's not the direction I would think they'd go. Like I mentioned, I think there's a good chance Sadiq falls further than a lot of people think. I think Big Ioanis, who we had in our mock, the offensive guard at a Penn State, going to the Ravens, they could use some interior offensive line help. That's been a very, very popular projection for Ioani to end up with the Ravens. So I think that's in the cards. But honestly, Sadiq's in play. If Makai somehow falls past the Rams here, I think he's in play. Ruben Bain, is still on the board. A lot of people didn't expect him to fall out of, the top 10 or so. So there's still a lot of interesting pieces on the board right now.
Absolutely. I think this is going to be, and you were talking about the potential of like a tackle run. I think this is going to be a really important couple of picks here to kind of set the stage of where we're going for this back half of the first round.
Yeah. And I don't know. Part of me doesn't think any of these offensive tackles are worthy of the 13th overall pick, at least based on a lot of analyst projections.
Yeah.
But we might see that run now. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Rams take an offensive tackle. It is a position they could use some youth at. So I wouldn't count it out. I definitely would not count them out taking one of these top offensive tackles here.
Let's just, as a fantasy show, talk a little receiver here too. Do you think there's any shot that a team goes after a receiver above Makai Lemon?
Realistically, no.
Yeah.
Is there a chance? Sure. Like crazy, much crazier things have happened in the draft, but that would be very surprising to me. That would truly shock me a little bit. I guess if there is a guy, it's probably Denzel Boston because his skill set is so different than Makai Lemon. Yeah, and if it's a team that wants that skill set over like short to intermediate slot type receiver, then maybe I could see.
It's the exact reason I asked you is because I was thinking about Baltimore and I was thinking about if you're trying to get Lamar Jackson a legitimate red zone weapon, and it's like maybe Denzel Boston's a little bit more that archetype.
Honestly, that wouldn't shock me that much. I think that could be in play. I'd be excited about that for fantasy too.
What's Rashad Bateman up to? I said that and I was like, where's he?
He's still on the Ravens, just chilling. It feels like he has always been on the Ravens because he has, but it also simultaneously feels like he's never been on the Ravens because he's just never consistently produced anything like meaningful. He
had that like one little stretch either 2 or 3 years ago where everyone was like, ooh, Rashad Bateman
maybe
breakout.
Sneaky.
Yeah, and then it never happened. What's up, Scott? Welcome into the chat, my man. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. We got Kenya saying she thinks the Rams are drafting Ty Simpson here. I have seen people talking about, like, when do the Rams pull the trigger on, like, a potential Matthew Stafford, like, replacement. Because they got Stetson Bennett there right now, and I think we know he's probably not the future.
No. And Jimmy Garoppolo is there, too. Obviously not the future. He's actually weighing retirement, I think,
I was going to say he's talking about retiring, so I saw someone saying they should get him on The Bachelor to like fix that whole situation that's going on right now.
Actually, I heard rumors that he will go on The Bachelor and Diana Rossini will be one of the contestants because she said she almost married Jimmy Garoppolo or she wanted to or something like that.
Did she? Scott Anderson said, I have the first pick in a dynasty draft. Who should I pick first? Scott, just to clarify, is this a rookie draft or is this a startup draft?
That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a big question here. And also, is it multiple quarterbacks or one quarterback? If it is a rookie draft, Jeremiyah Love, no matter what.
Agreed.
But I'm interested.
And I'm interested too. If it's a not rookie draft, if it's a startup and it's multiple quarterback, I would say Josh Allen. And otherwise, I'm personally of the mind to take Jamar Chase, but there's some rookie multi QB. Okay, I would take Jeremiyah Love.
I would take Jeremiyah Love 100%. Lock it in, Howie. Yeah.
Unless you're like desperate for a quarterback and you don't need one this year and you're just playing the long game, like, and you're not even going to try to compete until like 2028.
I wouldn't even
consider Mendoza.
I would just draft Jeremiyah Love and trade him to somebody to get a quarterback.
Yeah, actually, I agree with that. I think it's just Jeremiyah Love, that simple.
All right, here we go. Raji's back on the stage.
Right, pick is in. Is it going to be Lemon? I think it's going to be Lemon.
Oh my God. This is going to be the conversation I can't wait to have. This is Makai Lemon.
I hope it's not for my Puka shares, but.
That's exactly the conversation.
You haven't got it yet? Oh my God. This is the first.
Kenyon. Oh my God. What a call in the chat.
We have Nostradamus in the chat over here.
Bro, what?
I didn't see this one coming. I'm like a deer in the headlights right now. This is stunning to me.
It's honestly a miracle that I had him in the graphics. It's not a miracle. I did think he would go sometime, maybe later in the first round. The Matthew Stafford replacement has landed in Los Angeles. Ryan saying, is this Jordan Love Rodgers part 2? Surely Matthew Stafford, I would hope, will handle it better than Rodgers.
I have to imagine, just based on the way the Rams, based on the way the Rams conduct business, I think Stafford probably was fully in the loop that they wanted to do this. Can I say something mean? Can I say something kind of mean?
I love it when you do.
Why did Les Snead and Sean McVay trade away Jared Goff to draft Jared Goff 5 years later?
Because they got to get a championship in the middle.
True. They just like rented Matt Stafford and then got younger Jared Goff.
They said, why would we have Jared Goff when we could just win a championship and then get Jared Goff again?
Yeah. Honestly, good formula. Not bad.
This is
wow.
Okay, let's start. This is a twofold question here because we're going to talk about a little bit of Dynasty. Sorry. Redraft. This doesn't matter at all. Matthew Stafford.
Well, I think it matters for Puka and Devontae. I think they're huge winners that it wasn't a receiver.
Fair. Good point. For Dynasty, here's what I want to talk about, though. Let's start on Ty Simpson, super flex. How are you valuing him? Because now this is interesting.
Rocket ship.
But where in a rookie mock draft? Because, okay, you're fully like he's not playing this year. I have been of the opinion that Matthew Stafford retires at the end of this year, so you're likely just grabbing a guy that you're going to sit on the bench. But then you've got the quarterback for Sean McVay with Puka Nacua and then maybe Devontae Adams. I don't know what his contract situation is.
And he's just old, but yeah. I mean, I want the quarterback tied to Sean McVay and Puka Nacua. Hopefully Puka Nacua long term, everything works out with some of the off the field stuff. But I'm not like, I was never a huge Ty Simpson guy, but there is no more perfect landing spot than this, unless you wanted him to be productive in year one, which probably wasn't realistic no matter what. This is the dream landing spot for Ty Simpson from a real life and fantasy perspective. So he, for me, in Dynasty rookie drafts, just skyrocketed. Yes, you have to wait a year, but he's a guy who could be giving you legitimate quarterback 2, or who knows, maybe even quarterback 1 production for a decade plus once he takes over for Matthew Stafford in a year or so. So this is, I mean, and we talk about the draft capital too, an additional landing spot. 13th overall pick, that's such high draft capital. This is like glorious for Ty Simpson.
This is crazy. I'm fully with you on everything. The second part of my question was going to be, what does this do for the outlook of Puka Nacua going forward after this year? because, like I said, I've been like Matthew Stafford's retiring at the end of the year, and it's kind of ambiguous, and now it's not. Are you excited? Like, what are you thinking?
I mean, like I mentioned, I'm not like the biggest Ty Simpson guy anyways, but I mean, I trust Les Snead and Sean McVay's evaluations much more than mine. So it makes me feel good knowing that they have an answer long-term, and it's not like Stafford's going to retire at the end of the year. And then like Puka Nacua is just kind of lurking, waiting to figure out who his next quarterback's going to be. Like, they already have a plan in place. So I don't think that's a bad thing for Puka Nacua and these other offensive skill players on the Rams.
I agree. I think this is a positive overall. And the Ravens pick is in. Shout out my guy, Matthew. No Texans trade yet. I know we've been talking Texans trading up in the middle of the first round would be huge here. And I always got the tall boy Diet Coke, Silver Bullet. Not a sponsor.
Hey, if these tackles start flying, the Texans might feel the heat, and they might be trading up to grab one of them because, my God, do they need offensive line help. It's about the only thing they need, honestly.
Yeah, I know. Serious, like, win now team. And one that I don't 100%. Think is getting, like, doesn't get put in the conversations enough as, like, a
their defense is so good, they can absolutely win now.
So good. All right, here we go. We got Roger on stage again. Yeah, this guy's been flying. I feel like Roger's up there every 5 minutes now.
They start cooking when when she hit a certain point.
Once they get past the sponsor deals that they need to have.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Here it is. This is like every mock drafter's like favorite pick is Vega Ioane to the Ravens. And sure enough, here we go. The Ravens stay drafting non-premium position players in the first round, but they always get the best guy at that position. Like they did it with Tyler Linderbaum a few years ago, who just left. They did it at safety a couple of years ago with Kyle Hamilton. Like guys who play positions that aren't super valuable, or at least perceived as super valuable. And they say, okay, that's fine. We'll just get the very best guy in the draft at that position and have one of the best guys in the league. And it keeps working for him.
I know. I love this move. Troy, thank you, my man, for tuning into the stream. Have a good night.
Yes, thank you, Troy.
I know this is usually that time in the draft when people are making business decisions on getting some sleep. I got to wake up at 4:30 tomorrow morning to drive to the airport. So
that's devastating. I'm like dreading that for you. Like I just got secondhand like scaries.
I'm locked in though. The draft's just too fun. I couldn't not be on here.
Oh, it's just so fun. Derrick Henry's a winner here. Get some
huge
interior offensive line help. Yeah, especially after losing their center.
Derrick Henry, huge. One of our favorite win now contending dynasty picks.
Oh yeah, I'm too much of a coward to buy in my own personal leagues, but my brain tells me he's just gonna be phenomenal next year and be a league winner.
Your brain knows it's a good move, and your heart just can't do it.
My heart's like, I'm too much of a coward to do this right now. Ruben Bain still being on the board is pretty surprising to me. I wonder, do you think that's more to do with the short arms or the tragic incident that
I was going to say, without getting into like speculation and off-field stuff, I'm assuming that is probably the reason he's dropping.
Right.
But yeah,
I think
it's no bong gas mask on draft night.
No. What's so funny is if that happened again, I feel like he wouldn't fall, or maybe he'd fall like a couple of picks.
What, the gas mask?
Yeah, the gas. Like I feel like culturally, it's so different now. Yeah,
yeah.
That was
only the stigma and everything is so different.
Very funny, but the Buccaneers, everyone is saying edge rusher, edge rusher, edge rusher. A lot of people are tying them to Akeem Essador. That's who we had in our first mock. But with Ruben Bain still there, they could get a higher profile guy on the edge. So that's something that's interesting to me.
Absolutely. Kenya said she's a Bengals fan, so happy that they went offensive lineman over Bain. Joe can live to play another season. Now, anytime you can get Joe Burrow not running for his life frantically is always a good thing.
Yeah, they need they definitely to get him all the help he needs, because 3 straight years without making the playoffs, and that's not Joe Burrow's fault. So
dude, that's
they need
crazy.
to do everything to make him happy. Yeah,
that feels like a fake stat.
I know, I mean, the defense has been historically bad these last few years.
Yeah.
They've had injuries on offense. It's just been a complete disappointing mess, which is bad for the sport because the Bengals, like 2021, 2022, the most fun team in football. Just the most fun team in football.
As much as it was like fun for the Chiefs to be bad this year, everyone loves a villain. And I kind of feel like we need Patrick Mahomes to be back on top and for someone to like slay him in the playoffs. Because it's just get the gat. I completely agree with the chat right now. It's a different world. I feel like it lost so much juice. And like, I know everyone hates the Patriots, and so that wasn't fun. And Sam Darnold's not the flashiest quarterback, but like, I think a lot of people would agree like this postseason didn't have quite the same amount of juice.
Yeah. You do need the villain.
Yeah.
Which is, partially why I think it'd be fun if the Chiefs got bounced back as well. But the Chiefs-Bengals short-term rivalry was so fun, and I'd love to see that resurrected.
It felt like every game with them was awesome. Even though, like, it's tough to call it a rivalry when they're always winning, but, like, the Bills with the Chiefs was even, like, those postseason matchups. They lost to Denver this year. I was like, who did Buffalo even lose to?
Yeah, Denver and that dramatic, end of the game, Bo Nix injury and some questionable calls late that people were upset about. That was a fun game.
Oh, that was the best. I was rushing home from Dave & Buster's to watch the end of that game. Got back just in time.
It's a good game when you're rushing out of Dave & Buster's.
Dave & Buster's, I know. I don't rush out of Dave & Buster's for just anything.
No, it's got to be a high priority agenda item.
Left a lot of tickets on the power card to get home for that Marvin Mims touchdown. All right, here we go. Looks like the pick is in.
Let's see it.
I refreshed my stream. I was like, you're like 2 ahead now.
I think this has got to be Edge. Like, I don't know if it's Ruben Bain or Messidor or someone else, but Kenyon Sadiq, is that in the cards? They
brought back Otten.
Yeah, they did bring back Cade Otten. So, but it's not like Cade Otten is that guy. So, I guess they could go tight end.
I do think it would be kind of a weird move to just re-sign him and then spend like a top 15 pick on a tight end. But it wouldn't be crazy to me. I also want you to be right with your hot take of he's easily going to make it to Carolina.
Yeah, which I do stand by still.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. Okay. Am I still ahead of you here?
I think you are. It's looking like Ruben Bain, though.
Yep, he finally
all right
gets drafted. The fall is over. Made it to 15. They needed this. They have not had a legitimate good edge rusher in so long. And
yeah,
I mean, I guess it wasn't that long ago. I mean, they won the Super Bowl largely on the backs of their pass rush, but it has not been there since. So this is a big need for the Buccaneers.
I'm excited for the Bucs this year. We're both Emeka Egbuka guys. I think we see a bounce back. We talked a ton about like Baker was so beat up all of last year. Egbuka probably dealing with that hamstring injury. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm sad the Buccaneers don't play the Patriots this year. We could have the short arm battle between Ruben Bain and Will Campbell. No, but I agree. I'm in on Egbuka. We both are big time. So I think the Buccaneers are going to bounce back from what they were the second half of last season where everything kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, here we go. Looks like the pick is in for the Jets.
Now we're really cooking.
Yeah, now we're moving.
Do we see a wide receiver here? Is this the Makai Lemon? This would kill me for Makai Lemon. This would destroy me for Makai Lemon.
This was my original landing spot that I had said.
Yeah. I feel like there's such a strong chance it is.
Man, any receiver the Jets draft, I'm just going to be out on immediately, at least in the short term. As someone who had Brock Bowers last year, it was so difficult to watch Geno Smith play quarterback, and I couldn't do that with a team's wide receiver too.
No, the Jets franchise. Sorry if there's any Jets fans listening, but I'm right when I say like Jets franchise has just been so brutally horrible for so many years. And it's Geno Smith at quarterback. They already have one great receiver that's going to be demanding targets. Yeah. It's just like all of that together.
You could like maybe convince me in a world where Garrett Wilson didn't exist that like, okay, Geno Smith isn't great, but like he's going to be like a target hog for him. It's so hard to make the argument with Garrett Wilson in the building. And Valley Sports Pod saying Downs is going to become an all-pro in Dallas. Big mistake by his Giants. I mean, yeah, probably. Jerry does it again.
Yeah, I think he's going to be great. But, hey, who's to say that I mean, it's top 10 pick still, for the Giants picking at 5, so they could still have an all-pro themselves in Arvel Reese, so wouldn't count on Arvel Reese either.
Yeah. All right, before we jump into this Giants pick, if you're watching, thank you for sticking with us. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit that like button. Also, to anybody who's enjoying it, we do a podcast 3 days a week. We're also on Spotify and Apple. You can find us by just searching Lineup Fantasy Football. But here we go. The pick is in for the New York Jets. Who do we got?
Oh, please don't be Makai Lemon. I love Makai Lemon too much for me to want it to be him.
This football screen is very interesting on the stage of the draft also.
Yeah. I think they feed. I don't know if this is like ESPN's draft graphic people or the NFL graphic people, but they must give them like copious amounts of drugs before they make these.
Oh, graphics. Yeah. It's like the ESPN Monday Night Football animations.
Yeah. It's just absurd stuff.
16th pick in the NFL draft. The Jets select. Oh my God, is that Kenyon Sadiq?
Wow.
I am seeing it in the chat. Vikes for life 183 said it. Holy shit, Sadiq to the Jets.
You must have the inside scoop. This is so interesting. This is a possibility I didn't really consider all that heavily, and I need to wrap my head around the fantasy implications. I don't think it's good for him, though. I think it's similar to what we talked about with Makai Lemon. You agree?
Let's first of all, moment of silence for Mason Taylor.
Yes.
Second of all, moment of silence for Kenyon Sadiq.
Nobody wins.
No,
here.
Literally nobody wins. Because I can't even be like every situation where we're like, oh, nobody wins, but at least the quarterback benefits. I don't fucking care if you gave Geno Smith, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. I still think he's like a quarterback 3 in fantasy football.
Yeah. I really don't think Garrett Wilson, I don't really think wins because Sadiq's like, I mean, he's a wide receiver playing tight end. He's going to command some targets.
Yeah.
This
is the
gross.
one, like, I kind of feel like we were maybe splitting hairs and nitpicking a little bit with Jordyn Tyson about it being like a bad landing spot. Like, I still think there's like opportunity there in New Orleans. This one is like bad.
Yeah, I mean, like if you want to try to talk yourself into it, like he will play a very unique role in the offense that like if the Jets are a little better than we're projecting, maybe both Garrett Wilson and Kenyon Sadiq are involved and are good. You also have Breece Hall, though, who's a very talented running back. That's like, it's just the pie isn't very big for the Jets. And when you start slicing it up into more pieces, you're just not happy with any of those slices.
It's like a pie that just like tastes like shit, and it's like it doesn't really matter what size slice it is. I don't want it anyway.
Yeah, you just don't. You're just not interested at all anymore. So, yeah, that's sad. But I mean, who knows? Talent does win out regardless of situation in a lot of circumstances. So, I mean, look at Brock Bowers and Trent.
Yeah.
Two best tight ends in the league, at least from a fantasy perspective. They're on two horrible teams that have had horrible quarterback play. So,
and Brock Bowers was great with Geno Smith.
Brock Bowers didn't play very much.
That's true. Kenyon said, I said earlier that the Panthers should find a way to get Makai Lemon. I'm not going to lie, it can still happen.
It can.
I'm not going to doubt you at all. You were the one who sniped Ty Simpson going to LA, so.
That would be a wide receiver in the first round.
I can't tell what happened. I think we might have just lost you on the feed, Mello.
How about now? We good?
We got you, Dak. What were you saying?
Oh, God. I was so nervous. I ruined everything. I was just saying it'd be 3 years in a row, potentially, the Panthers take a wide receiver in the first round because they did with Xavier Legette, which obviously didn't work out, and then Tedorella McMillan last year. So we could see it 3 years in a row if Makai Lemon makes it there and they want to pull the trigger on him.
Yeah.
What we got now? The Lions, right?
I'm so disappointed. I was so excited for Sadiq. But this just, to me, just makes it, like, so solid in my brain that, like, no one's sneaking into that, like, elite 3 for me in Dynasty tight ends. Tucker Kraft is, like, in that weird tier of his
Colston, Loveland, like...
Loveland's in that top 3.
You're saying. Okay.
Warren's not.
I mean, he is my third guy. He's still a little bit behind McBride and Bowers for me, but yeah, it's going to be hard for Sadiq to catch up to that tier with a landing spot. I do think there is still one player on the board who could enter that second tier behind really just Jeremiyah Love from a fantasy perspective, though, and that is Makai Lemon, depending on the landing spot, which debatably the later he goes, the better. Obviously, draft capital matters so much, so from that perspective, we want to see him go earlier. But he's falling later in the draft to these teams that are better and presumably have better quarterbacks. So that could be a good thing for him.
100%. We got Detroit coming up next. That would not be good for him.
No, I couldn't. They would just have Amon-Ra St. Brown times 2, which I guess isn't a bad thing.
It would be a great thing for the Lions and for Jared Goff.
Right. But yeah, there's no way it's good. I think the Lions need offensive tackle, and after that Caden Proctor pick, the tackles have continued to fall. So, I mean, they could have their pick here. I think Monroe Freeling is a guy who makes a ton of sense at offensive tackle out of Georgia. They need another offensive tackle to play opposite Penei Sewell. And if they did that, I would be very excited for all of the Lions fantasy relevant players because the offensive line improvements would help this offense as a whole quite a bit.
Absolutely. This is an interesting spot, though. I'm like looking at the draft order. We got Minnesota, Carolina, Dallas, Pittsburgh, LA, and then Philly is the spot where I actually think we could start getting interesting for Makai Lemon. The Chargers would be great too. It's just frustrating because I'm so high right now on Lad McConkey, but
I am too. And honestly, they're kind of similar. Like they're both kind of slots. Lad can move around a little bit. I guess Makai did too at USC, but they might be a little redundant as well.
Yeah.
All right. I want the Lions to be good again. I talked about the Bengals being the most fun team in football. The Lions were up there too the last couple of years, though. Lions are such a fun team to root for, even if you're not actually a Lions fan.
Absolutely. They're always such a feel-good story.
Yeah. Dan Campbell. How can you not love Dan Campbell?
How can you not? All right, here we go.
Shout out Easton making the pick.
Oh, every time he gets up here, and then
I know
he's on some diatribe.
Everything's got to be a performance, an event. All right, give me an offensive tackle here. Come on.
Here we go.
Okay.
Blake Miller out of Clemson.
It is an offensive tackle. It is not the one I thought it would be. It is Blake Miller out of Clemson. The lines were so heavily linked to tackle. I think they were predominantly linked to Freeling, though. So it's interesting. Blake Miller's the pick here, who is, I mentioned Caden Proctor was a polarizing prospect. Blake Miller also very polarizing prospect.
Yeah.
True right tackle, which I think it pretty much confirms they're going to move Penai to the left side now, drafting Blake Miller here. But he's going to be a day one starter, which hopefully is a good thing for all of these Lions skill players.
Yeah. I think this is a great move for them. Lions, another one that kind of like Washington that I was saying earlier. I think you were saying it like it's a little iffy which direction they're going to go, but they had like a dramatically bad year last year after what's been such like a promising few years.
Yeah.
So I hope for the fun of the NFL that this is a great bounce back spot for them.
I do too. I think rebuilding the trenches, which is what really made them good in the first place, and it's kind of crumbled the last couple of years. I think rebuilding it, getting another offensive tackle is a really good step in the right direction. They also have a way easier schedule this upcoming year than last year, at least on paper. So that could be really fun for fantasy if they're beating up on inferior teams.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. We got the Vikings pick coming up.
Dylan Tiananmen. It's got to be Dylan Tiananmen.
It was always Dylan Tiananmen.
It was always Dylan Tiananmen here.
And here we go with the 18th pick.
Oh.
Caleb Banks. Okay.
Caleb Banks. All right. This is at least relative to most draft analysts and people in the industry, probably with the exception of Ty Simpson, one of the more surprising picks of the night from a reach perspective. With that said, Caleb Banks is one of the best true interior defensive linemen of the draft. And the Vikings could use some defensive line help. So I think it makes sense. He's freaking huge, by the way. This guy is massive. He's like 6'7".
Oh my God. I have to admit, I realize I don't have a graphic for Caleb Banks.
Oh boy.
I meant to make one and forgot one.
Such a reach that we don't even have a graphic.
I was just about to say, just to show how much of a shock this was, I don't even have a graphic prepared for him. But no, this is, for fantasy football, there's not a ton to talk about here. Better defense for the Vikings. We can talk a little bit about the Vikings, though. We're a little bit of a tease for next week. We're going to be talking a lot of Kyler Murray, who I've got his jersey right over here. But I'm very excited for the return of Justin Jefferson as everyone knew him before the curse that was 9.
In. I've been hurt. I'm ready to get hurt again, but I don't think I will be. I don't think I will be, though.
I don't think so either.
I think he's going to be so back. The Vikings are super interesting to me. Mitch, do you think they could win the division?
Yes, obviously. I
do too. I really think they could. Even in such a tough division, and it's a really tough division. I think they could win it.
I'm such an Iceman man that I hate publicly betting against him, but I do think it's possible. Noons asked in the chat, how have you felt about the fantasy picks? Who's your favorite? Who have you not liked? That's a great question. I would say number one guy I have not liked, Kenyon Sadiq. That was brutal. Someone I was so excited about and is almost like dead in the water in a pick I really didn't expect. More excited about Carnell Tate's landing spot than I thought I was going to be heading into the draft. Sucks for Wan'Dale Robinson, and I'll have to adjust my rankings because of that. And then Jordyn, Tyson, I think we're both a little bit disappointed on, but I'm less disappointed on the Jordyn Tyson thing than I am Kenyon Sadiq. I think it's a bigger hit to Olave for me.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, in a way, I guess I'm a little more disappointed with Tyson just because my hopes were higher for him than Sadiq. And I really do not love the Saints landing spot. But I don't think it's horrible. I think Sadiq to the Jets is brutal. I'm also disappointed by Jeremiyah to the Cardinals, but you know what? He's good enough anyways that he's gonna be phenomenal no matter what. So, he'll still be great in fantasy.
That's a great. I just skipped over Jeremiyah Love. Yeah, a little bit disappointed in it, but I think he's just that talented that he's gonna make it work.
Right. It's probably not going to matter all that much in the grand scheme of things.
It does remind me a lot of Bijan Robinson as a rookie when he had Tyler Algier behind him, and now Jeremiyah Love, and he's got this guy Tyler Algier behind him.
Tyler Algier is just punching himself right now. Like, not again. You're going to take a running back high in the draft, top 8 pick to replace me. It's tough. Now he's just going to be the thorn in the side. Tyler Algier is like, it's going to become an actual like verb in the fantasy community when guys get Tyler Algier, because we got it with Bijan and now we're going to get it when he trusts in on the 2-yard line and vultures touchdowns from Jeremiyah Love.
You got going to be devastating.
Absolutely brutal. 1K yards as a rookie. Is that we're talking about Tyler Algier?
Yeah.
He was great as a rookie. I mean, honestly, he was great even after that. It's just he wasn't, given workhorse treatment because you have a guy like Bijan Robinson there who's obviously going to command the large majority of the volume.
It's really funny because people were shocked when Atlanta went with Bijan because of that Tyler Algier performed so well. This poor guy. He's literally Will Smith and Fresh Prince. Like, how come no one want me? They're gonna sign me and pay me a bunch of money. They still don't want me.
No, that meme is really Trey Benson, dude.
That's true.
I can't get over how there was like 2 days that people were like, Trey Benson's such a sleeper because they had just cut James Conner, and then they re-signed James Conner, signed Tyler Algier, and now drafted Jeremiyah Love. Did not last long at all.
The Cardinals should just fuck around and take another running back in the second round just to prove they can.
That'd be so. They should take the other Notre Dame running back, Price.
Yeah.
Get both of them.
Boom. Oh, here we go. My bad. I did not have the Panthers up.
Oh, here we go.
The 19th pick, Kenyon Sadiq. Oh, Monroe Freeling a few picks later.
There we go. Now the run on tackles is happening. Now we're seeing them fly off the board. Mitch, this is kind of our dream scenario for our guys. We've been big Teteroa McMillan, or at least I have been a big Teteroa McMillan truther. We're both cokeheads. There's no question about that. Both huge cokeheads. This is good for us, right?
This is huge. This is actually awesome. When we talked about Kenyon Sadiq, I talked about how I thought it was lateral if he went for T-Mac if he came to Carolina. I thought it was very bad for Jalen Coker. I'm all in on Jalen Coker right now. Lock me in. Like, he is going to be one of my favorite values. I'm already ready to make an episode sometime next week. Actually, we've got a very, very fun episode coming this upcoming week with a very awesome guest from one of your favorite fantasy football shows. And we're going to be talking about our favorite buys post-draft. I might have to plug it in right now. That's Jalen Coker.
Oh, yeah. Now it's fully a buy, Jalen Coker, because he dodged a first-round pass catcher and got an offensive tackle in the process. That's hopefully going to help Bryce Young, buy him a little bit more time. So this is great for all the pass catchers in Carolina.
That's a great point, too, that I haven't even thought of, is like Bryce Young, the unofficial Panthers podcast, man, like so excited for Bryce Young now.
Oh, yeah. I'm skeptical it will fully come together, but the pieces are there so that it can come together.
Yes, and that's all you can ask for in these situations. Like, and then it comes down to how much you want to bet on the talent. But
we got the Eagles already. The Eagles making the pick right now, looks like. Wow. There it is.
Oh, my God.
Makai,
okay.
Lemon.
Here we go.
He fell, man. He fell. Oh, I got mixed feelings.
What's up, sports business? Thank you for making it into the chat, my man. Our guy on TikTok.
Hell yeah. Good to see you.
Let's break into all of it. All of the conversation that's going to happen here. A.J. Brown is gone June 1st. If it wasn't official, it's
Guaranteed.
official now.
Yeah, it's official. It's fully official.
Devonta Smith is one of my favorite buys in Dynasty in general. I don't think this affects that. I don't know if it affects it for you.
It does a little bit. Makai Lemon is such a high volume type of receiver that I don't know. I mean, Devonta Smith is still great. He's still going to be the true number one receiver in this offense. But Makai Lemon, you get first round draft capital, slot receiver, high volume kind of guy, and a guy I really like. I'm very bullish on Makai Lemon as a talent. So we need the Eagles to bounce back to what they were in 2024. We need this offense to take a step further forward and Jalen Hurts to rebound. But if they don't, it's kind of getting murky in Philly, where you bring in this other receiver and they're still going to run the ball a lot, and you're starting to get a little bit worried about, how good is this offense going to be and how many fantasy relevant assets can they support?
Yeah. I'm going to be at the casino tomorrow night, and I'm kind of considering putting a rookie of the year bet on Makai Lemon, if you can already do that.
I love Makai Lemon. I can't believe he fell this far. So
I can't
he's
believe
certainly
it
talented enough to win that award. What did we see, by the way, the trade compensation?
They haven't done the compensation on the stream yet. If anybody wants to drop it in the chat, but we're talking about Devonta Smith and how this affects him. We're talking about Makai Lemon in a vacuum by himself. Jalen Hurts, who both of us think is a great value, huge pickup for him.
Yes, that is something I am excited about. He's going to lose AJ Brown. We kind of already knew that. So getting another really talented receiver in the room obviously is a very good thing for him. And this is, we joked about it earlier, but God damn it, how is Howie doing this? Howie did it again. He got one of the best receivers in the class. They fell all the way to 20, right into his lap so he could move up a couple spots. This is a really good get for this.
No, literally, we were doing the bit and then it happened. Like, he got a guy that we had projected at like 11 at 20.
Oh man. Here's a fun question for you. Right now, you're on the clock. You have a minute. Dynasty League. Who you taking between Jordyn, Tyson, and Makai Lemon?
Oh my God. I'm probably taking Makai Lemon.
I think I am too. I like the upside of the Eagles offense, even though it feels like everyone's treating the Eagles like the Browns right now with their offensive struggles last year.
Yeah.
But I like the upside of the offense to take a step forward more than the Saints.
Yeah, I'm with you. That is really hard though.
Yeah. I think you could go either way. Taking Jordyn Tyson, I think, is a totally fair hill to die on if you feel strongly about that.
I think we can both agree that the guy that we really want is Carnell Tate.
Yes.
In a much better situation than either of them.
Yeah, higher draft capital, better situation.
Papa
Not
John's.
even a question about it. Dude, I was thinking Papa John's in my head. I was like, I don't know why Papa John's came into
better
my
ingredients, better offense, Papa John's.
Papa John's. Gotta put that on a t-shirt. So AJ Brown's a Patriot.
Yeah, that's pretty much official.
But it is official at this point.
Yeah, sports business. I agree. Kind of a crazy move, but I like it. They wanted to get their guy, and they got a great receiver.
I'm curious what the Steelers do here with the top offensive tackles all pretty much gone here. I mean, they could go Caleb Lomu or Max. I'm going to butcher his last name, but it's Ian Acor, I think is how you say it. And tackle is a big need. The problem is they really need a left tackle specifically, which Caleb Lomu can play. Maybe a little bit of a reach, but I don't know. What do you think, Mitch? Any chance it's anyone fantasy relevant?
I don't think so. I think I kind of don't want it to be, if I'm being real. Yeah.
No, same. Not at all.
Noon's in the chat saying it could be Casey Concepcion. Is that the wide receiver or the singer?
It's what is it, Filipino singer? Is that what?
Yeah. Who is like way more famous than I realized until you start looking up Casey Concepcion, and he's like the third thing to come up.
I think Casey Concepcion to the Steelers would instantly kill Casey Concepcion for me. He'd be the wide receiver 3 in an offense led by a 43-year-old quarterback.
Maybe.
No, thank you. Maybe, yeah. We don't.
He will. He just likes taking every
Will
summer.
Howard. Yeah, no, he's doing the Favre thing. He's really followed in Favre's footsteps. He's just taking his sweet time.
Dread it, run from it. Destiny arrives all the same, Aaron Rodgers. You are Brett Favre.
I wish we got him on the Vikings. Then it would have been a true time.
He wanted to, too.
He really did. He wanted to end up in Minnesota, both last offseason and this one.
But yeah, they made the right call sticking with JJ McCarthy.
9, baby.
I actually love during the draft when like you get like a real fan base like Pittsburgh and they're like cutting the people and they're just going like absolutely ballistic. Then there'll be like a team that like the people are just not built the same. Like it'll be like Dolphins fans and they're like,
yeah,
all right, yeah,
cool. Well, this is in Pittsburgh too, so
that's a good point too. That's
showing up big time. Oh, they're bringing out the whole squad for this pick.
Bring out the whole crowd.
I'm really curious what this is going to be. I don't feel like I have a good read on what this pick is.
I don't either. They just came back up on the screen. I'm still like flabbergasted by Ty Simpson.
Yeah, 13. I thought there was a good chance he'd be a first-round pick, maybe a team trade up to get him in the 20s or something like that.
Yeah.
13 to this win now Rams, which I get why they did it. Stafford's not going to be there much longer, but
right.
You would think they'd make a win now move, and it is not a win now move.
No, not at all. And here we go. Jerome Bettis, known for his time with the Washington Commanders.
I'm so curious who this is.
Me too.
Got to get through the monologue first.
I know. Jesus, it's like every pick. Let us know in the chat who you guys are thinking for the Steelers right here. And here we go. 21st pick in the NFL draft.
Okay.
Great call.
They get their offensive tackle. I'm a little surprised only because he played exclusively right tackle at Arizona State. They really need a left tackle. The good news is he's a quick learner because he didn't start playing football until his junior year of college. He never played until junior year of college, which is crazy that he is now a first-round NFL draft pick.
I don't know what's going on the screen right now. I just looked up. Was that his family?
I just got a whole lot of ass. I don't know.
I know. Somebody's ass straight up on the screen.
That's the biggest position in need for them, though. You know who appreciates this is 43-year-old Aaron Rodgers because he was hit too early and too often last year. Yeah. This is something they desperately needed.
Yeah. All right, we got LA up next. Who are you thinking for the Chargers?
They really need interior offensive line help, which from a fantasy perspective, I hope is what they take for the sake of certainly for Amari Hampton and for Justin Herbert and all of the receivers. I don't know that they go with the guard or center here, though, because I just don't know that the board's fallen that way. Big Ioane gone. I think most of the other top interior offensive line prospects. I don't know that they'll go this high. Emmanuel Pregnan is a guy who could. Mm-hmm. I think there's a good chance they go defense here, though. Jeremiah McCoy is a guy we talked about as a potential faller. He continues to fall. He'd be a really great addition in the secondary, same as Dillian Tieneman at safety. Keldrick Falk, if they wanted a pass rusher. Peter Woods is a guy we had them taking in our first mock out of Clemson. So a lot of different directions they can go here defensively, unless they really want to address their biggest position of need and take one of these guards.
Yeah. I know you have been very vocal on the show about being really excited about this Chargers offense this year, and I think I'm buying in pretty hard.
Hell yeah. Join me. It's going to be the Justin Herbert and the Ladd McConkey bounce back here.
I think I need an episode where I talk about the teams I'm not excited about because I feel like I've done so much talking about the teams I am excited about.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the nature of the game, though. He gets so
it's
excited.
Just getting
about
excited. I mean, I can look at the screen right now and I can say I'm not touching any Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, no.
Not touching any Jets.
Well, the Jets are so weird, dude, because you got Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, and now all of a sudden a good tight end prospect. But it's like, do you really want to play that game?
I swore off of Geno Smith. I've sworn off him for life. I'm not touching anything within a country mile of Geno Smith.
What if, and I don't believe this, but just for fun, what if it was the Raiders? I mean, the Raiders have been a horrible organization for many years, all due respect to the Raiders. He was solid with the Seahawks. Even his last year there, which was his worst year there, he still was significantly better than he was in Las Vegas.
I already swore a blood oath against Chiefs. But I'm not discounting that what you're saying could be right.
Yeah.
I felt such a fury in my gut last year watching every Raiders game, which I watched too much Raiders.
You're a Brock Bowers guy.
And now I'm kind of back in. Yeah, I am a Brock Bowers guy.
Oh, I am too. I'm back in on Brock Bowers.
All right, here we go.
This could go so many different directions.
So many. Keem Messidor, wow.
All right, they get a pass rusher. Fell a little bit.
Yeah, where do we have him in our mock?
Yeah. We actually had him going to pick after this 23 to the Buccaneers, who we had trading back. I think most mocks had him going a little bit higher, though. He is a true, like, prototypical power rusher off the edge. And that's something the Chargers don't really have right now, especially they don't have youth at that position. Like, of course, they have Khalil Mack, who can't stay healthy and is like 35 years old or something now. So this is going to help them immediately on the defensive side of the ball. From a fantasy, I did wish they took a guard a little bit just to help out with those fantasy assets. But I think this is probably the smarter move, to be honest, from a real life football perspective.
Let me ask you a question about a guy on the Chargers for fantasy football that we haven't talked about a lot in the past few weeks, but we weirdly were becoming kind of haters of. Where are you right now with Amari and Hampton?
I still think he's very overpriced.
I do too.
I'm not like super anti. Like I can come around to the idea that he could be very, very good in year two. I just think we're drafting him much, much, much closer to his ceiling than his floor currently, at least in redraft. Dynasty, I'm a little bit more open-minded just because he is a first-round talent, still young.
Yeah,
even if the offensive line isn't fully fixed this year, it could be next year. So I'm not out on him as a player or as a prospect entirely. It's just, I think in redraft, he's a little pricey, a little bit too pricey.
I'm in the same boat. I feel like I've warmed up to him more than we were when we were first making like our rankings lists, but I'm like not there yet to be like, I'm all in. And I understand the argument with Mike McDaniel and, getting Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt back, but I still think that you put it so well, like it's closer to his ceiling than it is his floor.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm sort of eating my own words then when I talk about how bullish I am on this Chargers offense, because if it works for the whole offense, you would think
it
the running
should
back
work for him.
Right. Although, something we haven't talked about really at all that's interesting is the Keaton Mitchell hype out of Los Angeles, that he is going to be a part of this offense. And if that's the case, that's obviously not good for Amari and Hampton either.
The one argument I would make is like there was plenty of buzz in Baltimore a few years ago.
True.
Keaton Mitchell was going to be a bigger thorn in the side, and he wasn't. But it's definitely not something to like fully discount.
No, especially when the reports are Mike McDaniel was very vocal more than anyone with the front office that he wanted them to sign Keaton Mitchell. Because if Mike McDaniel, who's really has the keys to this offense, wants him, I'm not saying he's going to be the starter. Obviously, I think Amari and Hampton's going to be a bigger part of the offense, but he has plans for Keaton Mitchell too if he wanted him that badly.
It's so funny because we talk so much about ambiguity in these backfields and that being like an opportunity to find a diamond in the rough. And this might actually be the exact opposite that you're describing, of everyone just telling themselves that Amari Hampton's the guy when maybe there's more ambiguity there than you realize.
Yeah, and not that he's a real threat too, but people also aren't talking about the fact that Kamani Vidal was very good for them last year.
Yes, absolutely.
All things considered, with the offensive line struggles, yeah. And like that playoff game, granted, Hampton was a little beat up. Vidal was just straight up the starter that game. Hampton got like 3 touches, and Vidal was the guy that game. That will not be the case long term. That will not be the case even week 1. But he's still on that roster, and you have to think like there's still a chance they're going to give him some level of involvement.
Do you think people would be as excited about Amari Hampton if he wasn't like huge?
No.
I genuinely think that's part of it.
Yeah. It'd be very funny if he had like the exact Derrick Henry arc, where Derrick Henry was considered a bust his first like 2.5 years in the league. And what
was
if
he behind DeMarco Murray both years?
It was I don't even think it was. Maybe it was DeMarco Murray, and then it was Dion Lewis, who they signed for the Patriots. And it seemed like he was such a it's crazy that, like, the top 2 running backs in that class were Ezekiel Elliott and Derrick Henry. It's crazy to think.
That's crazy.
After 2.5 years, it seemed like Zeke was a Hall of Famer and Derrick Henry was a bust. And now it's like Derrick Henry's a Hall of Famer and Zeke is not.
Zeke hasn't been relevant in the league, like relevant in the NFL in what, like 5 or 6 years?
5 years. Yeah. It's been quite some time.
Who's the last team Zeke? Oh my God, was Zeke's last snap in the NFL that like insane Cowboys play where he just got like blown up?
I think that was the year he went before he went to New England. And then he went back to Dallas for a year. But his last year in Dallas, he basically was like a de facto like coach. Mentor. He was not doing anything for the Dallas Cowboys that year.
Speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, we've got the pick coming up in a second here. If you haven't, make sure to hit that subscribe button, everyone. Hit a like in the comments, or hit a like and send us a message in the chat. We have a podcast 3 days a week. And a like in the comments while you're at it. We got Kenyon saying Cowboys probably going corner or linebacker.
McCoy, he's still there. I like that thinking. I'm with you.
All right, here we go.
They do need linebacker too. That is a good point.
Yeah.
They have like 3 on their roster right now, so big time need.
And the Cowboys select Malachi Lawrence.
Wow. Okay.
All right, we might see some defense here in Dallas this year.
You know what? This is the pick that, or at least, I mean, they traded back from the pick that was used that they acquired when they traded away Micah Parsons. They drafted another edge rusher with it. Malachi Lawrence, most people considered him more likely a day 2 pick.
Some people didn't even make a graphic for him on tonight's stream.
I knew this was going to happen. They were going to be those guys.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, in our mock, we had him going 51. We had him going quite a bit later, which I think is probably more aligned with most people's sentiment or beliefs. So this does feel like a little bit of reach, at least compared to the broader, NFL community.
Yeah.
But as much as we make fun of Jerry and the Cowboys, and they haven't really won for many, many years, they have drafted well, and they have faded consensus and done well with it. So, we can't criticize them just yet.
No, I'm with you. I think I like the idea. I think they've reached a little bit on the pick.
I think that's a totally fair take. I mean, when you just look at where most, draft analysts had him ranked, not only relative to the whole class, but relative to his position, relative to other pass rushers, this does feel like a reach. And I think that's probably going to be the narrative across the NFL landscape when we're scrolling through Twitter tomorrow, looking at people's takes on the draft.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to pick 24 here. We got Cleveland coming up next. Is this the Denzel Boston pick?
I feel it in my bones, Mitch.
I kind of think it is.
There's been reports it's the worst kept secret. They wanted to address offensive tackle and wide receiver with their first 2 picks. They've already addressed offensive tackle with Spencer Feno. I think it's receiver time, and I think we see Denzel Boston get taken here.
Man, can't you just imagine? It's the 4th quarter, 2 minutes left. Shedeur Sanders drops back, corner of the end zone. Denzel Boston, touchdown. cuts the score to 63-14.
It's like that. What's the NBA one? Is it Chris Paul?
Yeah, Chris Paul hits a big three to cut the lead to 42.
No, that's literally what it's going to be.
Or Austin Eckler with the first down.
They were down like literally.
I think they were actually down 63-14.
Yeah, that was a Thursday night football game. If it's not Denzel I don't know. There are a lot of guys who have fallen, and the Browns need everything. So I guess there are multiple directions they could go here, but I'm feeling Denzel Boston here.
I am too.
Fantasy, it's such a tough thing to navigate too, because it's like, yep, he's their number one receiver. He's instantly going to be their number one option in the passing game. Oh, but it's Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel throwing him the ball on this horrible team.
Man, I hate that excited. Deshaun Watson is just back in the mix. I'm just that's just what are we doing?
Am I conducting revisionist history here when I say that it felt like everyone knew he wasn't going to be on this roster at this, where we are now? Last offseason, it was he's hurt right now. They're keeping him around, whatever, but he's not going to be there in a year. And all of a sudden it's yeah, he's probably going to start week 1 for the Cleveland Browns.
I just don't get it. I mean, I guess I get it because you're paying him the money, but I don't know. You're not going to win anyway, so what are you doing putting out a guy that's just ruining the team's reputation now?
Well, 4D chess move, 2027 is a much stronger quarterback class. They know Deshaun Watson's going to put them in position to get their guy.
That's true.
Why take the upside of Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders when Deshaun Watson's going to make sure?
Yeah, a tanking war this year. Cleveland, New York, and Miami.
And then there's going to be some surprise. I mean, nobody was picking the Raiders to finish last. True. There's going to be your surprise teams too.
I kind of thought they were going to make the playoffs last year.
A lot of people did. They were a lot of people's dark horse darling, but still the same Raiders.
Raiders will be Raiders.
Raiders will be Raiders. They're going in the right direction, though.
I think so. All right, here we go. And Cleveland's coming up in a second here.
For Denzel Boston's sake, I hope it's not him, but we'll see. I'm not a huge Boston guy to begin with, so this pick would not.
There's part of me that's kind of sure, why not if he goes there? Because I think both of us aren't all that impressed with the talent.
True. Yeah. It's all right, well, I'll let somebody else make that draft pick anyways.
You think Concepcion slips out of the first round?
It's trending in that direction.
Right? I gotta look at who's
it's going to be close, I think.
That could take a wide receiver, New England.
I just can't see New England making the pick. I mean, you do have Buffalo and a couple of picks. If you're
actually going to go after A.J. Brown.
Could be the Dolphins at 32.
Here we go. The Cleveland Browns select Casey Concepcion. Oh, man.
Right on cue, my friend. Right on cue. We thought they'd go with the big-bodied guy. They're going with the slot. I mean, it's better than if he landed on the Jets, I guess, but I don't know how much better. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to say better. I'd
say better. I would say better than the Jets.
I'd say better. But not the ideal landing spot for a guy that, I think both of us really like and want to succeed, but this is going to be an uphill battle for him from a fantasy perspective, and not a guy I'm all that fired up for in redraft almost at all.
No. I mean, here's the good news. If I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yep.
We talked about, the Miami Dolphins as a potential landing spot for some of these receivers, and how that could be fantasy gold, especially if it's a slot receiver, high volume guy who's just going to suck up targets playing from behind. That could be the Browns, and that could be Casey Concepcion, another probably slot type receiver, quarterback's best friend. They're going to be down. They're going to have to throw the ball. He's going to be their number one target. The Browns could be horrible this year, and he still could have a top 15 fantasy finish if the volume is high enough. I don't know if that's a bet I want to take personally, but the path exists for him.
I agree with you. I think this is better than New York. I think this is still not great, but I think this is better than New York for that reason, that you've got a much better chance of getting like legitimate. I mean, look at what Fano did last year at the tight end position.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he is at least going to be hyper targeted. It's obviously not great seeing a talented first round receiver go to an organization like the Browns. Like, you think of just like Corey Coleman like 10 years ago, that didn't work out. Even like free agent additions like Odell Beckham, when they signed him, it didn't really work out. So you hope Concepcion doesn't follow in their footsteps, but at least he has a very easy path to being one of the most targeted receivers in the entire NFL as a rookie.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Man, Odell on the Browns was such a weird era. Remember when it was him and Jarvis on the Browns?
Yeah, and everyone was losing their minds that they were going to be like Super Bowl champions. And
yeah, and it turns out the Browns are the Browns.
Yeah, they're the Browns. Man, right when we were talking about KC Concepcion potentially falling out of the first round, the Browns take him. I'm curious now if Denzel Boston falls out. As somebody who's not huge on Denzel Boston, I wouldn't mind seeing the Buffalo Bills take him as a Patriots fan who would love to see the Bills miss on a pick.
yeah, it's a good point. Just bring in Keon Coleman part 2.
They are kind of similar.
They're a little similar, right? It's
contested catch, yeah.
Yeah, when we were talking about it on the mock draft episode yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, I would much rather see him go to a team like the Bills, where I think he could be a red zone threat. And then I thought about it more, and I was like, I think I'm just describing bringing in another Keon Coleman.
But counterpoint, I don't know that Denzel Boston loves cookies like Keon Coleman, and that could be the one variable that needed to change for Keon Coleman to work out.
That could make all the difference.
That could make all the difference. Also, there's this sick and twisted part of me that doesn't believe this, but just there is this like little devil on my shoulder whispering in my ear when I watch Denzel Boston. That's like, kind of looks like college Puka Nacua. Kind of looks like a big body pre-snap motion Puka Nacua. And I'm like, oh, could be. Difference is Puka is a phenomenal route runner, beat zone coverage all day. Denzel Boston is not that.
Now, okay, may as well ask you this question. As two Patriots fans, what do you do if they draft Denzel Boston?
I would almost be more confused than mad because, I mean, you have to figure A.J. Brown's coming into town. And for a team that in recent years has needed to address wide receiver, they've kind of put themselves in a position now where they're actually sellers, and they're probably going to have to trade Kayshon Boutte and or Demario Douglas. I would be very surprised if they dropped a receiver in the first 3 rounds. I'd be very surprised.
I just have to bring it up because you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, no.
But
it's
also,
true.
God knows where Mike Vrabel is right now, and so they can't even call him to see what's going on.
No, they can't because he's already on the phone with Diana Rossini. He's very occupied at the moment.
All right, it looks like we're coming back up here. I'm interested on the Bears.
Bears are a fun team. We've talked about the Lions and the Bengals as really fun teams in recent years. The Bears are kind of becoming that. I mean, I guess it's the Ben Johnson thing. I mean, that's part of what it was in Detroit as well.
Ooh, another team I'm out on for fantasy football, the Chiefs. I was just looking at the draft order right now. I'm lower than consensus on the Chiefs.
You 100% are. Mitch and I, at some point in the next few weeks, are going to do a debate episode where we get really mean to each other and we talk about our. And I know Rashee Rice is going to be part of that episode because I am very, very excited about Rashee Rice in 2026 and beyond, and Mitch is not. So that'll be a fun little debate of ours.
The big twist will be when we stop debating and being mean about Rashee Rice and we get personal.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about how stupid that Parker Washington jersey is behind you.
Okay, all right.
That's too far. I'm sorry.
I said personal, not offensive.
I'm actually more upset with myself that I said something negative about Parker Washington than I did about you. How dare you?
Now you owe me an entire extra episode talking about Parker Washington.
Deal. You don't have to.
I had so many people at work asking me, like in 3 straight meetings the other day, they were like, is that Parker Washington jersey on your wall?
You work with people that know ball.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we got pick in for the Bears. Any last second predictions here?
No, I'm just checking the chat. We got Noon saying Boston's a bust anyway. Casey Concepcion was the right pick. Hockey Justin Frechette with a mind-blowing emoji. And we got Kenya saying that she thinks the Bears will draft Dylan Tienneman.
That's a good pick for them. I like that landing spot for them. I like anything defense. Oh, on the money.
Great call. She really is Nostradamus.
She's on it tonight. She's actually the Mel Kiper of this stream right now.
Yeah.
She's got
the real Mello Kiper Jr.
Yeah, I'm retiring the Mello Kiper Jr. nickname. It only lasted a couple hours.
It had a good run, though.
Had a good run. Dylan Tienneman in most draft classes is the top safety. And if we talk about this draft class as a weaker draft class, safety, not the case, though. This is a very strong safety draft class. There's 3 guys that I think would be the top safety in most draft classes, at least over the last 5 or 6 years. Tienneman, one of them. Obviously, Caleb Downs, just a very different kind of draft prospect.
Yeah.
So he's going to instantly be a very crucial part of this defense. He can play nickel corner, similar to what we saw the Seahawks do last year with Nick Emanwari. I think he can play that kind of role. He can play a more traditional safety role as well. The Bears, man, they are an ascending, fun team.
So fun. Like, it's just the combination of Caleb Williams is like so exciting and new, and Ben Johnson is so incredible on the offense, and we're also seeing this defense come together, and they've got these fun skill position players. I actually think the only exciting thing the Bears are missing is like a running back that jumps off the page. Like, I know people are Manungai heads, but like him and Swift don't like quite do that. Outside of that, this team is so exciting.
Yeah, and you know what though? I commend Ben Johnson and this whole team though, because even though you're right, they don't really have like the flashiest, sexiest running backs. They got great production out of both Swift and Manungai last
Absolutely.
year.
They're a case where I think the two-headed running back monster makes sense to me.
Yeah, and they've got them both on pretty affordable contracts, which that's a position you'd like to keep at a reasonable budget.
100%.
I think we talk about like the Vikings being a sneaky team. I mean, the Packers, of course, are great. The Lions we like as a bounce back team. This NFC North is loaded. It is a very tough division. I could see any of these teams winning it. I could see any of these teams getting last in it. But the Bears feel like the team to beat right now, given they just won the division and they're making all the right moves.
Yeah, that's why you caught me off guard with that Vikings question earlier, where I was like, yeah, I mean, I can see it. I'm not going to put my money on it, but I can see it.
Yeah, but you never know, because like the Bears last year, even though some people liked them as a sleeper team, no one was picking them to win the division. They were probably the last team being picked to win the division. So it's the nature of the NFL.
You think Caleb goes for 4,000 this year?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
I think he does. I think
it's got to happen, man.
I wonder what his line is on like DraftKings. It's probably over 4,000, I would have to guess.
It's probably right around there, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if that's right around where it is.
I'm looking it up.
All right, Texans. I love in the chat this prediction here that they go guard with Emmanuel Pregnan. They need offensive line help so desperately, interior or tackle. It doesn't matter. They just need offensive line help. If they go tackle, I would think it would probably have to be Caleb Lamu, who probably could play left tackle even or right. And then if they go guard, a guy like Emmanuel Pregnan makes a lot of sense. Chase Pasantis as well. For fantasy perspective, I hope they do address the offensive line, because Nico Collins and Jaden Higgins and David Montgomery,
I was gonna say,
of course, CJ Stroud, like they need help on the offensive line.
Our favorite running back, Woody Marks. I want to put him in a position to succeed.
Woody irrelevant Marks.
I'm excited for David Montgomery, man. I feel like he continues to just not be a name people are talking about. Maybe that's going to change when we get closer to the season and things feel a little bit more real, but like...
Right.
I'm very excited about what he could do in that offense.
He hasn't had a workhorse role since his Chicago days, and he's putting himself in a position to have that workhorse treatment again in Houston. So that's super exciting.
Yeah. All right, here we go. They're going to go with Rutledge. They will go offensive line.
So they did go guard. Wasn't one of the two we mentioned, but they did address the offensive line, which is something they needed to. We got the Rutledge graphic, right, Mitch?
Oh, we do. Thank God.
We do. I think this is one we had in our bag. We thought there was a chance he'd get taken here in the first round, although we didn't think it was super likely. Hey, but if he's the guy that Nick Caserio and this Texans front office views as the top guard at this point in the draft, by all means do it, because they needed offensive line so badly. This is a good thing in fantasy, right? I think we like this for every Texans. Yeah, I think David Montgomery's
thing would have been if they for some reason went after a receiver here.
Oh, that would have been devastating.
It would have been like, I don't even know if I'm upgrading CJ Stroud. I'm just downgrading, especially downgrading Jaden Higgins, because they've just got like an abundance there. But this is absolutely a good thing for them.
We have a trade here, Miami.
We do.
What is Miami going to do?
I'm going
to
put
the
my
Denzel
prediction.
Boston pick?
Yeah, oh, damn it. You took it from me.
I stole it from you. I'm sorry. Ah, man. I just, there's just so much they need, though. Is that like they could draft any position, Jeremiah McCoy is still falling. He was the guy we talked about at the top of the show as a guy who could surprisingly fall out of day one. And here we are, and he is still falling. You
were sniping that. I mean,
it's about the only thing.
Yeah.
About the only thing I've sniped. Keldrick Folk is still available too. That's a really interesting one to me.
I'm going to throw him on the screen because I think it's going to happen. Denzel Boston.
Lock
it in, Howie.
Plant your flag.
Thank you, everyone who's still in the chat also. We still got a good amount of people in here. Appreciate you sticking with us 2.5 hours into the draft. I know a lot of people are probably logging off and catching some Z's at this point, but
yeah, for those sickos out there that are sickos like us, love that. Really appreciate that.
Oh, Noons does not like Denzel Boston in Miami. I'll take him off screen for now until we have the official pick, but
well, I mean, we talked about the potential for volume supreme in Miami for a rookie receiver. I don't know that Denzel Boston is the archetype of receiver to fit that kind of role, though. So how would we feel about that in fantasy?
I don't like that for Miami. I don't think that makes sense for what they need in that offense. I would rather see them go Omar Cooper, if I'm being honest, if you want them to go more interesting at receiver. What's up, Patrick Scott? Welcome to the chat. And I apologize, Dunes was saying no thank you to us for streaming, which thank us for our service. I appreciate it.
Yeah, if Amari Cooper goes here, I just want him to end up in Vegas with Mendoza.
You want Omari Cooper so badly.
I want Omari Cooper. I want the Indiana connection. I think that's fully in play, though. This pick is like it could be anyone, though. I mean, I guess that's kind of every pick. Who knows anything really?
Yeah.
But the Dolphins, they don't have a strength. Like, I mean, if you want to call running back a strength simply because they have Devin Achane, sure. And they have one nice piece on the offensive line already. They just took a tackle as well, so I guess maybe two nice pieces on the offensive line. But outside of that, it is a dumpster fire in Miami. So they could use all the help they could get at just about every single position.
Yeah, it's every position is a position of need.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guy Patrick from Boost on TikTok. Appreciate you tuning in, my man. I've said it a bunch of times. One more shameless plug. This will be the last of the night. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We got a podcast coming out 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The pick is in for Miami, though. Let's see if Malik Willis is going to get a weapon outside of Malik Washington and Jalen Tolbert.
Don't forget about Tutu Atwell.
Don't. How could I?
That's some disrespect you're putting on this receiving core if you're not mentioning Tutu Atwell. I feel like it's going to be a receiver.
I kind of do too. I don't think they're leaving the first round. I don't think they should. I think they got to bring in somebody, or else you're truly just setting up Malik Willis to fail.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't hear, though, they absolutely have to on day 2, which day 2, I think they have something absurd, like 4 or 5 picks.
Really?
So
okay.
They will have other chances, but there's a good chance they do here too, I think.
Roger Goodell just has 0 sense of urgency. Here we go. 27th pick. They will not. They'll go with Chris Johnson from SDSU.
Chris Johnson. There were some rumblings. He could be the second corner taken, and here we are. He is, in fact, the second corner taken over Jeremiah McCoy. He is built like a corner. He is a corner. He plays like a freaking linebacker. He is tough, gritty, and I think a good addition to Miami defense. He's not going to fix this team. This team's still going to be absolute dog water, but at the same time, it's a step in the right direction.
No, 100%. I like the pick. I mean, we're fantasy football guys. Like, I think we wanted to see them bring in someone for like fun, but like, we're fantasy football guys. We're also Malik Washington guys. And so I'm happy Malik Washington has dodged the day 1 wide receiver bullet.
Here's the real question. Could he be the best Chris Johnson to ever play in the NFL?
He's going to need 2,000 yards.
2,000 yards. I see it in
what, interception,
CJ
return
2K.
yards. And did the Patriots just trade out? We got a chat message.
Oh, the Patriots are trading up.
Oh, here we go.
I did not see this. I was 100. My brain is a pea because I know nothing. I was so convinced they were trading out of this pick. Patriots are trading up a couple spots. Oh boy, the Patriots fan in me right now is giddy. I think it's Keldrick Folk. I think that Keldrick Folk fell further than they thought he would, and I think they don't want to pass up the opportunity to go up and get him. I don't know though, Mitch. What do you think?
I like the call. Your entire reputation's on the line. This podcast will cease to exist if you're wrong.
We're just like the stream is gonna halt immediately if it's anybody but Keldrick Folk.
I would like to point out, Noons just had a message in the chat about us going tight end here, and I have heard a few rumblings that the Patriots want to leave one of the first 2 days with a good pass catching tight end.
Stars just feels a little high at 20.
It feels weird to trade up for him. I agree.
Here we go, though.
Here we go.
It could. Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
Oh my God, does it make you feel good to trade with the Bills too?
True, I didn't even think about that in division. Caleb Lamu, they go offensive tackle.
Wow.
He was the one tackle. We talked about this run of tackles. He was the one left. Looks like they moved up to make sure they could get him. This is interesting. There are a lot of implications here because he's a guy who could play left or right tackle, unlike most tackles in this draft. I think the implication is he's not going to start year 1. It's going to be Morgan Moses staying at right tackle, with Caleb Lamu being a swing tackle. But the fact he can't play left tackle, there's going to be a lot of rumblings that Will Campbell gets pushed into guard, and then Lamu slides in at tackle. Regardless of all of the real-life implications from fantasy, can't be bad for Drake May. Can't be bad for these receivers. Can't be bad for Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. So this was a great offense last year, and I think it could be great again.
I think this is just about one of the best picks the Patriots could have made for your fantasy assets in New England, for your Drake May shares, for your obviously you didn't want them to go receiver, but like, I think this is a fantastic pick.
I am so curious to see if he's a starter at all in year 1. I would guess no if they truly are committed to Will Campbell at left tackle. But we'll see. He played left tackle at Utah. And the great thing about him too, unlike Will Campbell, is he's got an offensive tackle frame. He's got super long arms.
I was gonna say he doesn't have T-Rex arms.
He doesn't have T-Rex arms. I am so curious to see how he is used, if at all, early in his career. Do we have the trade compensation there, anyone?
Yeah, if anybody has the trade compensation, drop that in the chat. Just as we're rolling through here. Kansas City up next.
Could this be Denzel Boston here, Kansas City?
This would be so annoying because we're like, I've been so out on Denzel Boston, and like you send him to Kansas City, and I'm instantly gonna be in.
That's funny because you are out on the Kansas City offense, and I am more in on the Kansas City offense. But I wouldn't be as sure with Denzel Boston in Kansas City because I like Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
And you don't. And I think Rashee Rice is still going to be the wide receiver one in this offense, regardless of whether or not Denzel Boston is there. I also hope he's not there because it will like muddy the waters in my Rashee take. And I really want to still be super high on Rashee so I can continue to debate you on that.
To play devil's advocate, the argument you could make is that he muddies Rashee's price and you're actually getting him a little bit cheaper.
That is fair and true. That is a good point.
Looks like Bills got pick 125.
So what's that? It's like a 4th round pick?
4th round pick, yeah.
Okay. 4th round pick to move up a few spots and get an offensive tackle. 2 years in a row, the Patriots go offensive tackle in the 1st round.
Love it.
So I'm seeing in the chat Jermod McCoy as a potential here. They did already take a corner, but you know what? They lost their top 2 corners from a year ago, so they still could use 2 corners. Imagine if the Chiefs came away with what some people, a lot of people, consider the best 2 corners in this draft.
How much help does Patrick Mahomes need?
The irony, too, is they have this pick because they traded away their top corner and
Trent
Duffy to the Rams. So they'd get their replacement with the same pick.
I think they're going to go receiver. I don't know if it's going to be Boston, but I think they go receiver here.
I am going to say... Man, you know what? I wonder if the Patriots jumped the Chiefs for Lamu because they knew the Chiefs might be interested because they actually could have used a tackle. I think they missed their window now, though. I don't think there's any on the board that they'd still have any interest in. So that takes that out of the equation. I think receiver is still a super strong possibility. I don't know, though. I would not count out them taking another cornerback here in Jermod McCoy. I would not count it out entirely.
That would be a pretty cool move to just get like the next generation of corners, start building your own like no-fly zone.
I could see them also going safety because they just need secondary help in general.
Yeah.
Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is a freak of nature athlete out of Toledo that, again, we talked about this with the last couple corners, but is a guy that could be the number 1 corner prospect in another draft class.
Yeah.
So a lot of options here. Keldrick Folk is still falling too, man. I'm really surprised to see how much he slid.
I know. He's a guy that could end up just slipping out of the 1st round completely.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's in contention. I think I probably had him a little bit higher than some people. He was a little bit of a faller late in the draft process too, but I still didn't think he would be on the board at this point.
Yeah.
Or I thought he'd be gone by this point.
All right, here we go. Kansas City's pick is in. Dude, I can't believe Makai Lemon went to the Eagles.
I can't believe he fell that far, that he could go to the Eagles. 20th overall, man. Oh, I can't wait to just look at round 1 of the draft on my phone for like 6 hours straight tomorrow. Just my eyes glued to it. All right, Chiefs, what do we do here?
Peter Woods grabbing a defensive tackle here.
He's a guy who has fallen a little bit too. Obviously, with Chris Jones's age, it makes sense to get a little bit more help on the interior of the defensive line. He's an athletic interior defender, similar to Chris Jones. So there's a lot of different ways they can use him. Kind of interesting. It's been the offense that's been a struggle for the Chiefs, probably more so than the defense the last few years. And they go back-to-back defense in the first round here.
Yeah. You mentioned Chris Jones' age, and I was just rewatching that Trevor Lawrence touchdown, the game winner against Kansas City, when Chris Jones just like stops running.
Chris Jones, it was like the visual representation of I don't want to be here.
Literally. He was quiet quitting in the middle of a play pursuing Trevor Lawrence.
Such quiet quitting. All
right, we're in the home stretch here.
You know what, too? I dodged a receiver in the first round for the Chiefs. Rashee Rice, glorious year incoming.
I'm going to love really get my argument ready.
Rashee Rice is going to be the wide receiver 4 this year. It's going to be sick. I don't know why. Rashee Rice, I said it earlier, it's not the guy I want to root for. And I also don't want to root for the Chiefs. I'm just like everyone else who's not a Chiefs fan, and I enjoy being a hater. So I don't love that I'm on this Rashee Rice bandwagon, but I am. I think my brain tells me he is going to be a
Sometimes you can't deny value.
Yeah, he's going to be a fantasy cheat code. I feel it in my bones. All right, the New York Jets pick is in. Could this be Denzel Boston? Do they go two pass catchers? Two pass catchers in the first round? I don't think so.
No. We've been wrong multiple times tonight, so.
We have. And we sound like a broken record too, but like Jeremiah McCoy and Keldrick Folk keep falling. They could use an edge rusher. They could use a cornerback. Those are two positions they desperately need, actually. TJ Parker, another great edge rusher on the board. Cassius Howell, another good edge rusher on the board. Colton Hood, another good cornerback on the board. There's so many different directions that they could go here. They just lost Elijah Vera Tucker, their guard. Do they go for another guard here, Emmanuel Pregnan? I don't know. With these bad teams with lots of holes, there's so many directions.
It's so hard to predict, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Casey Concepcion going to Cleveland is just crazy.
I'm going to talk myself into it by draft season. It's icky to me right now, but I can already tell by August I'm going to be like, yeah, he'll just have 112 targets as a rookie and be the wide receiver 16.
I just got the chat to spoil it for me, but Omar Cooper, oh.
Bro, the Jets.
Wow.
This is like full panic mode. What do you do? What do you do with all these guys? You have 3 now first-round talent receivers, if you include Kenyon Sadiq. You have Breece Hall, who is a very good running back, and you have Geno Smith and a defensive head coach and an offensive line with some question marks on the interior. This is a mess of a situation.
Not with a 10-foot pole. I don't want to go anywhere near this offense in fantasy. Like, obviously Dynasty's different and you can hope for the best. Oh my God. This is like so disgusting to me.
I had some hopes for Omar Cooper.
Me too.
He's a guy I really liked as a prospect. I didn't think he'd get taken over Denzel Boston, although I think it is maybe the right decision by these teams to fade Denzel Boston. I'm going to eat those words probably. We're going to look back in a year and Denzel Boston's going to be the best guy in class. But I now have no interest in Omar Cooper. And it's actually hurt Kenyon Sadiq even more. We were talking about
how my God, he's
Sadiq.
Dead to me.
Bury him in the rankings now.
Oh my God.
Oh man, this is messy. You know what's crazy to me too is Aaron Glenn is coaching for his job. He probably doesn't have a ton of say in these picks. It's probably more so the front office, but he's a defensive head coach. You'd think he'd want to rebuild this defense that just traded their 2 best players at the deadline last year so that he can at least put on tape a great defense to validate his position with this team. And they go 2 pass catchers in the first 2 rounds. And this defense is going to be bad. I'm telling you, this Jets defense is going to be horrible.
I love how we were talking about who's the team that's going to have a bad defense. That's fantasy gold. And it's like the Jets are going to have a bad defense, but they don't have an offense, so it doesn't matter.
If Geno can bounce back, sure. I guess
he's got
maybe you can talk yourself into it. He's got the weapons. They didn't have an interception last year. The Jets did not record an interception the entire season last year. They might go deep into 2026 without one as well.
Is Justin Fields in Kansas City now?
He is.
What a bizarre signing.
He's going to do their.
Justin
They don't
Fields
let
start week 1.
It's possible. It's possible he'll be the week 1 starter, and if nothing else, he's going to be their QB sneak guy because they don't let Mahomes.
Oh yeah. That's worth paying him however many millions just to do that. That's crazy, man. I actually cannot believe that.
The Jets, I don't know what to do with this offense. Let's see when the dust settles how they're being valued. Because if all of a sudden, if Omar Cooper is going like the 13th round of redraft leagues, and you want to talk yourself into this being like a Bengals or Cowboys light, where it's like the defense is so bad that they're playing catch up and they have good pass catchers,
right?
Sure, I'll take the shot on it. But my gut reaction is like a billion mouths to feed, bad team, bad offense, bad quarterback. Nope, I'm good. I'm staying away.
It's the Sadiq thing that just like messes with my head, you know, where it's like if it was one of these two guys, I could have talked myself into it. But now, like you said, like you just drafted 2 pass catchers in the first round, and you've also got Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, and like, is Geno Smith really going to be slinging it around the yard like that?
I think this hurts Garrett Wilson a lot, who we haven't even really talked about directly too much, but he was like the wide receiver 2 or 3 or something crazy like that last year prior to his injury, because he got so much volume, especially in garbage time, because they had no one else to throw to. Mm-hmm. Now he's still going to be their number 1 guy in the passing game, but he's not going to get that same kind of volume. There's just no way.
Oh, here we go. Looks like the Titans are up. Trade with the Bills also on this one.
Okay, so they move back into the first. Interesting. What do the Tennessee Titans do here?
Do you think we get one more fantasy eligible player?
I think there's a chance we get Denzel Boston in the next 2 pick, or the pick after this, if a team trades up, but I don't think we get.
What about Jadarian Price here?
Oh, I wouldn't count it out.
Man, thank you all for sticking with us all night. This has been awesome. 2 picks to go here. Give us one more fantasy guy to talk about. Come on.
Yeah, seriously, thank you all so much for sticking with us. I appreciate it so much.
And it will be Keldrick Falk. Finally, we couldn't leave tonight without him.
He was free falling. That's a good get. They elected to go with the receiver with their first pick instead of one of the top couple defensive players. When they had a pass rusher like Arvel Reese on the board, they decided to pass up. So they still get a really good pass rusher who fell a little bit in the draft. I think that makes a ton of sense. Robert Sala's got to be happy. And now there's 1 pick left. Let's get a fantasy player here, Mitch. Fantasy.
Come on, give us one more. Noons, we will unfortunately not be live for day 2 and 3, but hopefully a good amount of draft talk at some point next week, reacting to all the rest of these picks. And I agree, Kenya. I think that was an awesome pick for them. Like you were saying, Mello, like you pass earlier in the draft and you're able to get a great edge guy here late in the first round.
Yeah, I think this is a good pick for that. Titans, kind of sneaky. Kind of sneaky Titans. I'm not saying I'm in, but kind of sneaky.
I'm like starting to dip my toes in the Titans water.
Flirting with the Titans water, a little bit.
Yeah. Flirting a little bit.
Flirting with the Titans like Diana Rossini in circa 2021.
We need one more fantasy eligible guy and one more Diana Rossini Mike Vrabel joke.
We've only got like 3 so far.
Yeah, pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. All right, here we go. Pick 32. And is the pick in? No,
Seahawks were looking to trade back, I think. Hey, Mitch, we're a pick away from Jeremiyah falling out of the first. That was our one guy who said we could potentially see
That was
fall
one
out of
hell
the
of a
first.
call if it happens. It would be really funny if it was him right here.
He's going to get sniped here. I shouldn't have opened my stupid mouth. It won't be the Seahawks if he gets picked, but some team will trade up for him.
Yeah, Seattle's a tough one where if you're looking for a receiver, you're probably not getting it here, but running back
is possible. I don't think they would take Jordyn Price in the first, but I would not count it out. I'd say it's in the cards for sure.
Your Ken Walker replacement.
Yeah, that would be exactly what he would be too. But they only have 4 picks in this whole draft, so I think there's a strong chance there. Yeah. This is a pick historically too. A lot of teams have traded up to get that extra year, that 5th-year option, because the 32nd pick is the last chance you get at a 5th-year option. So it's a very commonly traded pick. I just hope we somehow get a fantasy asset.
I want
here.
one more guy to talk about on the way out here.
What a night, though. I can't. Ty Simpson at 13 was still my highlight.
That was the shock of the night, easily.
Just was not expecting that in the slightest.
I would say I was semi-shocked when Carnell Tate went at 4, but I wasn't like it was in the realm of possibilities for me.
Yeah. Still, though, like, I didn't really think that would be the case. I didn't think that's where he would go. So that was definitely a mildly surprise. The Chiefs trading up to get Mansour Delane, I definitely didn't see coming, but what a fun draft, man.
Fernando Mendoza going at the 1.
Who would have guessed that? Who would have guessed that? Oh, boy.
Man, Seahawks taking their sweet time right now, too.
Pick is in. I wonder if they were looking to move back and then they weren't able to, and they said, all right, let's make the pick. I hope it's Jordyn Price, because that's just fun to talk about, to get that fantasy eligible player. If it's not, though, they really do need cornerback. They really, really do need cornerback. So I could see Jeremiyah actually not quite making it out of the first round here. Caleb would have a tendency.
That would be so funny. Buzzer beater.
They let Reek Woolen go. Those probably are their 2 biggest needs, honestly. I guess you could make an argument for edge rusher too. Maybe a guy like Cassius Howell is a possibility here. TJ Parker as well. Zion Young, another guy I think they could potentially go with here.
Here we go. Pick 32, the last pick of the night. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. No episode tomorrow. This is in lieu of that, but we will be back Monday with a brand new episode talking about some of our favorite discount brand versions of our favorite NFL superstars. But here we go.
Wednesday.
Pick 32. No, discount brands Monday, and we'll hit values on Wednesday.
Okay. I'm way off. It's 11 o'clock Eastern.
I know. I know. I'm feeling my brain. I'm not used to talking this late at night.
That silver bullet's doing damage too.
I know. It's gonna keep me up all night. I have to say, as a Patriots fan, this sucks watching the Seahawks pick at 32.
Yeah, you wish this was the Patriots pick here, but hey, at least we made a pick tonight. We didn't think we'd.
That's true. I really didn't think we were going to.
Offensive tackle, very, very interesting.
All right, here we go.
Shout out Dylan here making the pick. He's very excited to make this pick. I love this.
I know.
What an electric way to end night 1 of the draft.
They'll go Ian Price with the last pick of the first round here. I was like, I don't think I have a graphic.
Jadarian Price. You didn't have a graphic?
Oh my God. I literally was reading the subtitle. I was like, who is Ian Price?
Oh, I thought you said Jadarian Price too.
No.
We got our fantasy relevant guy.
We got our wish.
We got our wish. They needed running back so badly.
I dead ass was like, I'll be honest, I don't even know who Ian Price is.
That would have been crazy. They just drafted like your next door neighbor.
It's like the little Sass video. He gets drafted second overall.
Me? 2 Notre Dame running backs in the first round. This is bad news for a guy I was starting to heat up on, Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Kicking myself now for starting to believe, because this definitely hurt Zach Charbonnet quite a bit. This also hurts Emmanuel Wilson if you wanted to try to delude yourself into feeling good about that.
This hurts Zach Charbonnet and this kills Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson's dead now. He's absolutely dead. It's good news for Jadarian Price, though, because he is now potentially the starting running back on the defending Super Bowl champions. Good offense, should move the ball. Zach Charbonnet was the goal line back, probably still could or should be, but he's also coming off a very serious knee injury that if Jadarian Price can get a stronghold on this job earlier in the year before Charbonnet is healthy, he could be great.
Yeah, I think this one is super, super easy. It is Jadarian Price, unreal spot, stock flying up. Charbonnet, stock flying down. Emmanuel Wilson, underground.
Yeah.
The whole offense in general, I think this is great. We saw how well they did in this offense, having to, we just recently talked about it, but, Ken Walker was Pro Football Focus's #1 runner. Zach Charbonnet was #3. This offense is built for a 2 running back system to succeed. I think this is an awesome, awesome landing spot for him.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It'll be interesting to see what he does. He was never a full-time starter, obviously playing with the best running back in college football in Jeremiyah Love last year. So if he is able to get a bigger workload, I'm very curious to see what that looks like. But it's a very good sign that he landed in Seattle.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone who tuned in tonight. We appreciate you all so much. Last time I'll say it, make sure to tune in on Monday. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button. And that's all we got for tonight. Mello, anything you got left?
No, just thank you, everyone. Really, really appreciate all the support, all the activity in the chat. Cannot thank you enough.
All right, we will catch you guys next